Every Thursday, the scene is set in the realm of thoughts where minds are met. They're the thinkers with brains on the brink. Every Thursday, they're doing a thing with that darn kitty as the fearless lead. That fought through by her side, they plant the seed with Dorkus guiding through dungeons deep, and Grey Coupe spreads it on steep. Nemo's brush strokes like magic in the air. The Press Hydra's expertise beyond compare. Charles manages the box office with grace, while other guests add to the lively space. In a world of thoughts where minds collide, the thinkers gather their wits as their guide. From deep contemplation to laughter's embrace, every Thursday is their special place.
Welcome to the special place.
Why am I in your spot?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Special place. Don't worry about it.
He's like, no. I'm not that special. Okay. Good evening, because it's a Thursday, right? Love the intro. So do I. We can barely Thursday, yes. But it's Friday for me, guys. Fridays, okay, it's safe. That's all I'll tell you guys. How is everybody doing? We have Gray back.
Yeah, hey, yeah, it's awesome to be here. I should have given warning that I might not have been able to make last time. I happened to be at a beach location. I assumed that I would have reception, and I did not. So, my bad.
That's okay. You're allowed to chill out, especially when beaches are involved.
Gonna have to donate to the first jar.
Yeah, I should have expected it. I should have rented like a hotspot or something.
Oh, yeah. You shouldn't have.
Right. Evil woman. That's the song? Is that the song?
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
is that it?
It's a good song.
Hi, Davina.
Were you in Amityville, Greg?
By the beach, yeah.
In Amityville,
Was the island closed? Or the beach closed?
It was.
I heard there will be evil. Das has come along. Oh, we've got evil Charles as well.
I'm already evil and here.
Yeah, so thank you for that. Apparently, I'm in the thumbnail. I didn't actually put that together. I didn't think that that somebody would think it's me. Think it's me, as in like it's a woman. Why not? But yes, that's my wedding photo. That's a wedding photo. We had a great time shooting that. So
sounds glorious.
Did you see the go and see the thumbnail? Peeper's only saying hello to me and Bimo. Bimo is delayed, so he's not here at the moment. But I'll take the hello. Peepers, you're gonna have to stay in order to say hello to Bimo when he does arrive.
If he arrives.
Yeah, we've got Sentient Atheist, who is actually supposed to be asleep but did an all-nighter, so well done.
Oh yeah.
Gray was an Amity.
Why do you look like a zombie? Going on here?
Who's the zombie?
You in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
What's going on there? What kind of wedding did you have?
It got a bit messy.
I'll say.
That was after the ceremony. I looked normal at the ceremony, but then I don't know. So hello to the whole panel. You see, Davina's nice, okay?
Hello,
yeah. Davina. I need the shadow nose. Was there a mayor with a tacky suit? I don't know. I'm not getting these jokes, but I'm sure they're funny. This is why have I never called Dildy Dildy? Oh my gosh, that's a great thing we could say. Right.
The mayor is a reference to Jaws. Everything that Dice has been talking about with Amity Island, it's all Jaws.
Okay.
It's summertime.
Thank you. I saw an AR video where a woman tamed a shark. And it was the reason I saw that is because I follow this guy on Instagram who just always just looks at clips of white women and beasts, and they are not scared of anything. He's like, white woman ain't scared of shit. because they make friends with wolves. They bring wolves into their house because they think it's a dog and all of that sort of stuff. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
I don't have too much issue with AI content, but when I see like these clip gatherings of like, I don't know, middle-aged women who are like, this cat is actually wearing a suit, look. And like you hear their child off screen saying, no, Ma, that's AI. Like, no, look, it's real. And it's like, oh boy. All right, so maybe.
And it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, maybe some people need some schooling on what's fake.
Oh.
Hey, J Mac.
Yeah. Hey, J Mac. Jacob. Ted Bundy is pretty evil, and that guy who effed up my Burger King order. Those are the only examples, though. You know what? That's
the Burger King
true.
guy's the worst.
Oh, early super chats from Lives in Dev's Walls was specifically. Evil is when you tie a woman to railroad tracks and cackle while twirling your mustache. Well, who here has a mustache besides me?
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Come on. He's been. I think he
sounds just like that Burger King employee.
Yeah.
That I could have it my way, but I couldn't.
Well, yes. So, in case you haven't picked up, today's topic is evil. Obviously, we're making a lot of fun of it, but there's actually a lot to say about this term evil. And what I've done is because usually I have like a bunch of questions and then I just throw them at the panel and the panel's like, okay, what the fuck? I now asked the panel to ask questions about the topic. So we've got a few of them. I don't know which order we want to go in. Gray, I haven't heard yours. I don't know if you've got any. I
brought
yeah,
a manageable plethora, I think.
Okay.
I've got a few, but I was kind of hoping BMO would be here because I have a feeling he's going to take a certain bend to this good evil thing.
He will. He will.
Perhaps I don't.
Yeah, he will come in, and I'm sure he'll hopefully he's listening. But we'll see.
Safely.
Safely, yes, that's true. Don't be in chat or anything like that. But yeah, we'll definitely get to him. Zaxx is coming later on as usual. So we'll start with us four. We're okay. We can carry this. Come on. So do we want to start? Look, we can start. We'll start with a general question. Okay. The most normie question that you would expect for us to. Wow. Okay.
Well, before we do that,
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Charles.
I can't stay. I got to go to bed early. Hope the stream is great. I know no one here is evil. So I'll rest easy. Thanks, J-Mac.
I wish we had your same confidence, J-Mac,
Yeah.
but one of us is named Evil Charles. It's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll see.
Plus, you heard the laugh.
Yes, exactly. You seen the mustache? It's a problem. Enjoy your sleep. Get up early. Pop some iron. We'll see you later. Thanks so much, Jay.
Pump some iron.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
I mean,
the
what
best
would
type of fry just said hello. Hello.
Hello.
you do to iron other than pump it? Charles?
Pound it.
Yeah, I am a
You can
I'm
grill on
anemic,
it.
so if I could just ingest it's probably best. Ingest
Yeah.
iron is what I need to do.
You can supplement with it. Why not?
BMO is evil because he rigs the doodle wheel. So, okay, let's use that.
It's
So,
true.
obviously, the most normie question that we would ask when we have a topic is, what is insert topic?
What is insert
What?
topic?
What
Yeah,
is
what is the insert topic?
what is evil, guys? I think you're like, okay, we all know what it is, but let's throw around some similes, some of those to figure it out. One of the things, and the reason I asked this question is because Charles is look, we've just had it proposed to us that Charles is under mind control, that the hat is in control, and Charles just went like this.
Is the dark?
I think he's signaling to us.
I have like little dust.
No, you mentioned. Oh my gosh, if you had Daisy there would be white fur all over. Anyway, so yes, the reason I asked this question is because when I went on Wick TV, because yes, girl was on Wick TV, we were talking about whether
Nice.
women are evil, but we did speak about what evil is a little bit, and there was this kind of concept of it was brought up of it always going to self-interest. And I wanted to ask what you guys think about that. Is that necessarily evil? So it's just as a definition of evil. Discuss all the words that I put in to your brain right now.
I understood
How many
2 or
words?
3 of those.
Good. What does evil mean to you? What could, if you could come up with it's not good. Is that what it is?
I think people would agree that morally, there should be some sort of shared understanding of what evil is. But I think whether it's unfortunately or not, I think it's kind of relative. I think what one person considers to be evil, someone else might not have that same value system. And I don't know. I think it's best if there's a nice Venn diagram where there's overlap and people are like, yes, this is evil. But not everyone agrees, which is, I don't know if that's good or not.
You should hope that your view of evil is similar to most people around you. It's your best bet. Right.
Yeah, right, Wafflefly. It's subjective rather than relative. Thank you.
So it can differ from person to person.
Sure.
Perhaps a reasonable place to start, because I don't think I've ever actually tried to define evil.
Yeah.
So perhaps a decent place for me to start, at least, would be something along the lines of something that damages one's soul or that of another in some way.
So harm of some sort.
Yes, but I feel like adding in that soul comment lends itself to a more deeper concept, because like someone could call not letting a child being sad because they can't have candy, if you stop at the child is made sad as evil, but that in the long term that's good for the child, without more specifics into why they can't have that candy. So I feel like specifically having that soul element would hopefully counteract the suppositions in which it would not be true. If that's sense.
That's exactly what I was looking for us to start touching on. But my horrible question, really, or my ramble, I was trying to get onto that of like, if we can't just say it's just harm and whatever, and there's a certain lens you have to look at things. And the soul thing, that brings us into an even larger discussion then. Put a pin in that. Gray, any comments there?
Yeah, sure. As a devout atheist, I don't believe in this soul mumbo jumbo. I don't understand it. I get, like, colloquially, if we're going to talk about something that like scars your soul, I get that, but I don't believe that there is actually something that is me that's not actually physically me. I think you can, like, scar a brain, and anything that scars your brain is probably not good for you. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I've done anything that has forever scarred my soul, so to speak, seeing so I'm skeptical on it. But that being said, I think bad things happen. I think cruelty exists, but I'm not sure if I buy into the concept of evil either, because it seems to be polar opposite with good. And I think it's more of a spectrum. Like, obviously, there are horrific events that happen. If we're just using it colloquially, yeah, I might call that evil. But if we're
Mhm.
actually talking about like the concept of like pure good and pure evil, I don't know. Every time I've had it explained to me or tried to get it justified, it seems like it goes, I was hoping that maybe we could do that today with Mr. B Mozart. But we'll see. But yeah, it just, to me, it seems like it's very much a religious concept. If we're just gonna talk like a synonym for like cruelty or something
Mhm.
horrendous that happens, like yeah. But one of my questions is I wanted to find out: do you guys think that nature is evil? Even though I think we'd all agree that nature is cruel. Like we've all been horrified by something in like a nature documentary or something that just it seems very bad. You know, obviously it's beyond harm. It's like, you know, you're watching. I've been scarred by so many things where I've seen animals getting, you know, killed in
Yeah.
front of other ones. I would definitely say nature is cruel. I don't think I would say that that's evil. It seems to be part of what happens there. So I don't know.
wouldn't
I
say
guess
that's evil.
I'd want some sort of definition of what quantifies something as evil. Like at what point, what threshold do we then determine, this is evil, as opposed to that's
Yeah.
bad.
That's something.
Using-
Yeah.
Using the nature example here, though, a lion. Dolphins torture fish for fun and get high, but dolphins notwithstanding,
Dude,
predators
wait till you hear about otters.
Oh yeah, otters.
What do otters do?
There are ottertistic.
There's some assaults that you don't want to know about. Supposedly they
like
use
playing with
corpses and
rocks.
continue it after death. It's bad times. Nature is not fun.
I didn't even
Wow.
get to make my argument, and I've been
Sorry,
suitably.
otters though.
No, I'm not chastising you, Gray, because I started it with pointing out the dolphins before I even finished the.
Okay, yeah.
But in response to your nature thing, I do think there's something unique about humans in that we can render judgment, we can
Mm-hmm.
imagine, we can empathize in ways that, generally speaking, most animals that we're aware of don't or can't. So when considering nature, I like your distinction between cruel and evil.
What have
So-
we covered so far?
Not much, actually.
Oh.
You're
I was getting up
if
to evil and I lost track of time. So
Just wait. Oh, come on. Okay, I mean, I will believe this,
I've heard
but
of that
Bimo,
one.
you can say it.
male otters will hold baby otters ransom for food, which is the morally correct option.
Oh, that's horrible. Otters are supposed to be my second favorite animal.
They are very cute and like to play
Okay,
with
no,
rocks.
I'll decide it's ferrets. I'll decide it's ferrets. They're
Nope,
cute too.
there's a rap sheet there too.
Oh,
Cute animal tier list.
Oh. Okay, just all the evil tier list for animals. But now, guys, it seems like, so before we get to you, Bimo, you guys have reminded me, because the whole reason the whole reason this topic came up was actually because of talking about is woman evil? Are women
Yes.
evil?
Yes.
Yes. We kind of
Mostly.
touched on the idea of evil being, it has to involve intent. What do you guys think of that? Because now, speaking of what Evil Charles here just said, nature doesn't have this intent or this understanding of what it's doing. Therefore, we can't really call it that evil, because it doesn't interpret, doesn't imagine. So discuss. Evil equals intent, bad intent.
No, because I don't think that. So okay, since there's another question that's linked to this, but I do not agree with what you said. Mainly due
Okay.
to, I think, yes, the intent can have a portion there, but you can do evil acts without intending to, because I think evil is a moral judgment.
Okay. It's outside of whatever happened.
Yeah, I don't think it's a religious judgment, though there are a lot of religious judgments that are moral judgments. I don't think it's strictly a religious thing. That's what I jumped in and I heard, so I just felt the need to bring that up. But moral judgment, I think, is where it's more likely.
Right, so that's where we were at. Is it being so we've said some people were saying it's a religious concept, and some people saying it's not. Shall I put a poll up?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Poll
I'd be interested. Do people see it as a secular concept, or is it only associated with, other than like colloquially, like, that's so evil? Like, is it associated with just religion? Because I don't know. I'm trying to think of another way that I would actually use evil, and I don't know. It seems to be coming up just religious for me.
Well, okay. I guess I could ask a question there, Gray, because I'll go to an
Sure.
extreme here. So, of course, it's going to be the
Okay.
uncomfortable question. But do
Pussy.
you think that someone being raped is an evil
Where?
act?
It's gone now.
Damn.
So I do believe it is a horrendous act, but no. Do I think like it is the exact opposite of good? Like, no. There could be good things that come from it, sadly. There might be like an amazing life that's born that way. One of my friends happens to be the product of a rape. That doesn't mean that I think all rapes are good or anything like that. But man, I agree, bad things happen and cruelty exists. But I don't know that I'd say that that is evil.
Yeah, what
could you
about-
define evil?
What if Hitler was struggle snuggled? Would we say that's bad?
I'll allow it.
Yes, I would still say it's because I don't hold your view on this, Gray. I think that rape, even though
No.
if something came good out of it, like a
So can you explain to
life
me
was born.
what the difference is between something that's evil and something that's bad? Because like we all agree that's bad. That's not good. Nobody would classify that like on the positive side.
Less than
So how would you
optimal.
define evil?
Not
'Cause-
holding the elevator. Sorry. Not holding the elevator door open for someone is bad. Unaliving a person. Evil.
Unaliving someone because they didn't hold the door open from you is an abject good, right?
What if you struggle snuggle someone because they don't hold the door for you on the elevator?
We're getting places. I'm not sure.
It could have been prevented
Sorry.
if you had just
I-
held the door for the person, but thanks to your lack of couth, you've now bothered
You,
someone.
your lack of
Yeah.
couth.
It's so
You,
impolite.
sir, lack couth.
I've derailed
sorry.
us.
I'm
Please
sorry, Primo.
answer Gray's question.
Okay, so what is the difference between something that is evil and something that is bad? Man, intent definitely I think has some portion to it, but I don't think.
So I'll let you keep thinking about that.
I gotta
But does
simmer
that
on
mean
that.
that like if somebody's drunk, like if they cause this huge pile up that kills like I don't know hundreds on somehow on a freeway because they weren't thinking about it, they didn't have the intent, that's not evil?
No, I think the evil act was them drinking while driving to begin with.
And then
That
what's the
caused that.
intent?
Being reckless isn't evil, right?
Well, their intent was I'm going to drink, I'm going to get drunk, and then I'm going to make those choices purposefully. The purpose.
What about somebody
I'm
with
going to
say
do
like
that.
some sort of mental condition, like an unbalance or something like that? They're in some sort of psychosis. Are they evil in that
Someone
moment?
that's not in their right mind.
I
Okay.
plead not guilty by insanity.
I was actually, guys, by the way, I was hoping that it would descend into this kind of conversation. Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? That's actually what I wanted because it is
No,
quite
I think
interesting.
we're getting somewhere here, though.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting. So, all right, someone who's not in their right mind, I wasn't really thinking of in this thing because I think most people are in their right mind
I'm not.
generally. But in the instance that someone is under psychosis and everything, I'm not sure I can blame them for their actions because they are acting outside of the norm. I think you have to be able to make the choice.
Who dictates the norm?
Society
The
usually.
majority.
But also I don't
Bimo?
when it comes to like drunk driving, I think we have a pretty universal concept that is seen as not okay.
Hmm.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, I would definitely call it bad. I don't know if I would say drunk driving is evil. I think it's a horrific, cruel outcome, especially for the anyone who is the unintended victim of it and their, family. It's fucking horrible. But I don't know if I'd consider that evil. Like, what makes that more evil than like a tragedy, like a bridge collapsing or something?
If you know that there's risk and there's a possibility of harm and you go ahead and do it, I would say that's probably evil.
Well,
I
can
would
I ask you
agree.
that question, Gray?
I'm
Where
sorry.
would you? Sorry,
No.
I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
Okay.
go.
Because I kind of want to find out where you kind of stand on this, because I don't think I have found where you stand on this. Yet.
Yeah, I don't think evil exists. Like, I will use it colloquially in a conversation, like, as shorthand, like this is bad or very bad. But I'm not sure that the concept makes sense to me. I'm not sure that there is evil. I think there's cruelty and there's
Is
very
there good?
horrendous acts. I think there's more positive acts. I think there are things that we would say are positive, or the intent of being positive was there. Like, somebody tried to do something to help somebody out, something that we would colloquially call good. But I don't know if there is this concept of like good and evil, or whatever the opposite of evil is. Somebody was saying that good and, I can't remember, I can scroll up really quick, but they were saying like, I think it was okay and evil were the opposites, and good and so I'm missing it. But I don't know.
Righteous?
So you don't think it exists, but
I'm not sure if it exists.
Okay.
I'm agnostic to evil.
So
Gotcha.
it's like you don't view it as a force or something. You like.
I don't think so.
It's a judgment. That's
I
what
think it
I.
is a moral judgment. Yes.
Yeah.
Raise many chlorine count as
Like
low as well.
I'm separating my religious side from this. Like,
Yeah.
just trying to rationalize without the religious part. I think it is a moral judgment.
Mm-hmm.
It is just this is that bad. It is the pinnacle of bad. Therefore, it is evil.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
yeah.
I would have to find the pinnacle to judge things by.
So at what point does it stop being bad and become evil? Like, is there a threshold then?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, okay,
especially for me
speeding is
personally.
bad. Speeding and getting in a wreck is bad. But like intending to like hit somebody with a speeding car, I'm assuming that's worse. Is that now evil, or does it have to be like one step beyond that? Where exactly does a bad act become evil?
I think road rage is pretty evil. Yeah.
Well, it seems like
Is it though?
intent. Having
Yeah, why
intent
wouldn't it be?
behind it makes it worse.
Well,
Right?
so I experience
agree with
road
you,
rage a
Billy.
lot. I get pissed off. I swear. I'm not like road raging after anyone. I'm not like
but that's
chasing
not
them
what I
down.
mean by
But
road rage.
what I was going to ask is, does evil have to just be an act, or can it be in your mind? Because in my mind, I'm slamming into them. I'm mounting a 50 cal to the top of my car. Like, I'm mentally in a lot of really dark places. And if I get near a cliff, I have these thoughts. What can I say?
Yes.
I have very bad thoughts. They usually don't win. But does that make me evil, or is that just a human condition?
But Gray, if as an agnatheist, what's preventing you from just
Devout agnatheist, thank you.
what is preventing you from just going ahead and doing those things?
The fact that I still have morals. Morals are not a religious thing. I do think that there is right and wrong. I don't think that it's necessarily this is pure good and this is pure evil. I think, again, there's positive acts and negative acts, and we all do all of them at all times.
Can't evil be an extension of wrong?
It is.
So that's why I wanted to find out
Yeah.
how you're defining it. Because if you're just defining it as like something that's wrong, it's like, yes, I do wrong things all the time. Like, there are times where I probably should tell the truth, and instead, the easier thing is to be like, no, that's great.
Preach.
Sure, MSK, I'll be on your show. Like, there's a lot of things that I probably should say the opposite of, but it's just so much easier to say yes. I don't know. Does that make me evil? I think it's the
Yes.
wrong thing for me. Okay. Well, fair enough.
I like that idea of, okay, so is there a difference between wrong and evil? Or are they just
I think
similar?
See,
one's
This
further
is
down
why-
the road from the other.
this is why religion makes things so much easier.
They're in the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
neighborhood.
but
Does it,
it's
though?
not.
Because
What's the
can you
default?
really say what's good? Or, well, okay, it depends. Do you believe in divine
I don't need to
command
say
theory?
what's good. I don't need to say what's
Exactly.
good.
So that's the thing. But what you consider good has done things that if anybody else did it, you would consider it evil. So I don't know if that makes it
because
easier.
Good things have been wielded by evil people.
and really horrible things have been done by what you call good. So I don't know, man. It's weird. So I don't know that that makes it easier.
I'm saying it's easier to justify it in my mind, saying, "Oh, I already know that this act is seen as evil in God's eyes, therefore that is evil." That is so easy to just, okay, there it is. But that's not the conversation we're trying to have. So
I totally
about
got
this
sidetracked by
this-
Rosales' comment.
What did Rosales do?
You can define evil as morbidly wrong. So the obese, is that what we're talking about, Rosales?
Well, I guess that goes to what Jacob is saying here. Generally speaking, evil is anything you don't like that inspires enough emotion for you to call it evil. So if
No.
it inspires enough morbid upsetness, morbid wrongness.
I think, okay, if we were to go back a few steps here, I would say that
All
murdering
right.
someone is evil. It is an act
Well,
of
yeah,
evil.
but murder is legally defined
about
as like,
self-defense?
the wrongful death of somebody else.
No,
What about
it's
killing?
because I think
Is
it's
killing
morally reprehensible.
okay? But murder is illegal by definition. What
What
about
if you do it in your
killing? Is
country?
killing evil?
Why are we bringing up laws? I'm confused.
Because you talked about murder, and murder is a specific type of
So
unjustified.
it's still no,
killing.
but Bimo
It's
is
to
still
kill
saying that,
someone in cold
that
blood.
killing any in
Murder
cold
doesn't
blood
have
is
to be
that
cold blood.
yeah. What is in cold blood?
Murder in
then?
cold blood is an even more specific type. I'm trying to go out to the grander instead of the more myopic. So is killing wrong?
Is killing wrong? No, I don't think killing is inherently wrong. It's a part of nature. It's part of life.
But I thought we were saying
Okay.
nature doesn't have to do with evil because we can't call nature evil, even though there's like really cruel things such as rodent mothers devouring their entire flock of babies. Like that's
Don't
horrible.
talk about rabbits. Come on.
It doesn't have to be rabbits, man. I had hamsters that did it. It is horrible. And my God, is that like the worst way for a kid to like, hey, how's my pet doing? Oh my God. It's bedtime.
They're doing great. They're doing great. They went to the farm. Okay, so yes, I agree with your statement that like nature itself is not inherently evil, because I think that humans are a thing that define what evil is or not. I don't think that other animals have the capacity to understand what is morally acceptable or not. I think it's a unique to humans thing at the moment.
Was Jeffrey Dahmer evil? Says Jacob Ironside.
Yes.
Okay,
He
so
intentionally killed a
Mhm.
bunch of people for very messed up reasons. Yes, I think he was evil.
okay, so if we go into this relative thing that Charles brought up, okay,
I think someone corrected me, and subjective might be a
Yeah.
bit more refined to what I was trying to say.
yeah,
and I appreciate
subjective.
that.
Yeah, so I mean, for us, I think we all have the same sort of idea of what he did there, murder. We have the same moral compass in this case,
Ooh.
where it's like
Okay.
it's a collect. Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm an asshole.
No,
I saw Matt had this interesting question. So
Mhm.
Dr. Kevorkian, I believe he was actually charged with murder.
Mhm.
So he would make these machines that helped people leave this mortal coil.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do you view him as evil, even though he has murdered and participated and helped people unalive?
No,
Mm.
they're volunteering
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I
have
think
that done.
In most cases, they have to
Ye-
press the button themselves too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he made the machine that made it capable. Made it.
I
Yeah.
and I could be wrong, but I don't think that was for, Joe Schmo living his best life. I think that was specifically for people who were terminal or near end of life, right? Or
Joe
am I
Schmo was
wrong?
asking for it.
I believe the only
Oh,
cases I'm
Did
aware
you see
of
what he
were
was
that.
wearing?
I'm-
However, the next question was going to be, okay, what about Canada? Is Canada evil because they have taken the next step? Essentially, depression
Always.
can now be part of it.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah, that's too far for
so
me.
okay.
let's take it easy.
The MAID program was stopped for a reason. That's pretty much all I have to say for it. It was way too effective for what it was intended to do. So I think.
So is that evil? If you're not calling,
if it's not
Kevorkian
evil, it's pretty close to morally reprehensible to me, at least.
could you describe the difference between Kevorkian and like the Canadian MAID program? Like what makes that evil or as close to evil as it could be versus a guy who seems to be empathetically helping others?
The big difference to me is the age of the person that they're focusing on. Because the MAID program, the people that died most under MAID were 11 and 12 to 13 years old.
What?
Yeah, you can get the stats. They're very public.
You're saying they lived a good life?
A very short life. And I find that morally reprehensible, whereas the Kevorkian and the machine or the technology that he created, if I were to stay consistent with my own principles, I would have to say that that is okay, because I'm also okay with guns existing. Because you are making the choice to fire the bullet.
Do you think a 30-year-old man getting with a 16-year-old girl is evil?
Yes, because there's a consent issue there. They're not an adult.
Do you think a 30-year-old
Well, it depends
man...
on your country. They could be an adult.
Sure.
Do you think a 30-year-old man getting with a 27-year-old female who hasn't mentally progressed but to 15 is evil?
Interesting. It's another one of those they're not in the right state of mind questions. That's a foggy one, but I mean they technically are the right age, but should they ethically do that? I don't think so.
But are they evil then?
I think personally, like my gut intuition reaction was that is an unequal relationship right there, and someone's being taken advantage of. But I don't know. That is a very fringe situation.
Sure,
I don't think I've been around something like that.
Well, you need to get out more, sir.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
But like, I think also you need to ask the question, like, okay, what is that person able to consent to things even as an adult at that point?
Well,
because usually when they're developmentally disabled like that, they usually, the law is on their side.
You would hope. Yeah.
I would hope, yes. But I'm trying to keep the law out of this question because moral judgments and morals and the law are two different things.
Well,
Yeah, I
mean,
think that's a
same application. I forget the law. Like, you know,
would the group with the pitchforks be okay with that? Probably not.
Right.
I know I would be probably one of those people with the pitchforks getting like, you know what you're doing.
Ooh.
Yeah. I have something of maybe an unpopular take or what, but I think there is a possibility of someone aged 16, 17 to be a bit more mentally mature than someone who's 30 and mentally.
I'm very glad that we don't deal with consent as maturity.
Sure.
yeah.
This isn't the right.
It's like, man, that 15-year-old is so mature.
I would totally back up what you're saying, though. I went to high school with a lot of people that were more mature than the people that I was in bands with in like my 30s. So yeah, fair enough.
A birthday is not magic. It is. When you blow out the candles, everything is magic involved.
You make a wish, okay? You wish that you can consent.
So
that's a really
it seems
dumb
like,
joke.
oh, well, never mind.
Yes, stupid people can consent.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You don't have to be a certain smart. Yeah, okay, you do have to be a certain smart, which is minimal.
I
Yeah,
have
how
a
do you
feeling
know
I
better
where
for yourself?
this question is going.
Should we test for everything? Like you have to.
Yeah, do you have a license for that? Yeah.
Find out the hard way.
Like you get an IQ test at a certain stage, and that's your IQ, and then you're allowed to do certain things and you're allowed not to do certain things.
This reminds me of what was it? Which college was it that required like everyone needs to have physical consent forms on them in order to
There were a few of them that
engage?
did that.
Wow.
That's what that makes me think of.
Well, okay. So everyone kind of keeps bringing up like consent and stuff. So I guess, all right. So we all agree consent's very important, but yeah, it seems like at least 3 different people brought up like the whole like PDF issue in
Yes.
chat.
It's
Would
up
you
on
say
the
that
spectrum,
is
Eagle.
a moral evil? Or sorry, not just moral. Is that evil?
Well,
I mean, I
Going
would.
somewhere with this, like at what point does that stop? So if you would say yes, that's evil.
Mhm.
I've seen a few different reports of somebody with some sort of condition where they always look young, even
Mhm.
you know, like when they're
Yeah.
way beyond age. Is somebody who dates them evil?
No. Because they're an adult.
Yeah, they're in a mind, but the
Wouldn't
thing
that-
They're
is,
attracted to essentially a
that-
child's body.
wouldn't
Like,
that fall
isn't
under,
there
like,
a weirdness
isn't
there?
personality an important thing here? No, I know where you're going with this. I understand because especially that TLC show that really revealed a lot of
Yeah, I think that's the
sensitive
one
choices.
that's
what are we
I'm
talking
also
about?
thinking of.
Oh, it's the
Evil.
what
Is that
she was
evil?
26 years old and she looked like she was 11, and she was stuck that way. And
she was
her
with someone.
partner, I believe it's
Yeah.
her current partner still, is
Just some dude in his 20s.
what was it? Some in his 20s, but like he looks like a full adult man, and she still looks like a child.
Mm,
so yeah, he's in a relationship. So yes, we want her to have a full life, right?
I
But-
want to bring something up here actually, but sorry, go ahead first, Kitty. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
we want to have her to have a full life because she has the right to. She's inside. It's like from Interview with the Vampire. She's like Claudia, right? Where
Oh,
she's
that would be a cursed existence.
yeah, okay. So she's a
Love that movie.
whole woman inside, and unfortunately her body is not so. So she's allowed to have a full life, but then I don't know how you get past that physical look of her being a child and then engaging with her in a adult manner. That is
It's
very
really sus. It made me
it's
look at that guy completely
yes.
differently. It's like, oh, I don't trust him.
Well, let me
And
ask
if
you a
it-
question.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just wondering, like, would he be evil though in your mind, or what is different because he found somebody who matches? I don't know. It's very strange that that's
So
what he
then-
would be attracted to.
Lolly would be evil by that mentality too. Then yes.
sus is what they
Consistent
said.
with-
They're like,
But,
we don't know.
hold
We
on.
need to figure it out.
If we were to switch this around as she looks like an adult, but she has no arms and legs, or is completely missing her torso,
What the fuck?
like would this change things?
What?
Dude, her personality though.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah.
I think
I
her
don't
personality, her maturity would actually turn off that pathological attraction that person has because she's too adult. I would hope.
And sorry to Exa Music's comment. Why do all moral discussions have to delve into extremes? So when we're talking about good and evil, I guess, or if evil exists, I think it is automatically an extreme.
Extreme
So
hypotheticals.
Yeah.
have
I
to
guess I'm
happen.
trying to find out, is this extreme part of
Oh.
it, or can we move the line a little bit closer? Where does it start?
Yes, that's what
Is-
that's we go to the extreme so that we can try and figure out what's closer.
Is this straw manning?
Not quite.
Damn it.
'Cause
I'll
we're not
never
trying to
know.
misrepresent
I'll
each
never
other.
know.
I don't think we're trying to misrepresent each other at the moment. So
We're
Oh,
trying to
that's
just
what straw
understand.
manning is.
yes, you
No,
are.
Charles
Yeah.
is accusing me of straw manning him. That is such a straw man of my argument.
I'm never gonna understand it.
But I do have a question actually, Greg, because yes, this is a little. It's suspicious. Like, of course, because I know I wouldn't be attracted to someone that looks like that. But there are people who are not from America. Let's use Japan as an example, where someone who looks 40 looks 12,
Hmm.
and they very much look like a young child.
Hmm.
Would that change it? Because that's a very common thing in Japan.
Yeah,
To me,
Asian
that's
people
still
don't
sus,
age the
but,
same. They don't age the same. It's
Well,
almost
if I think
unfair.
you're possibly dating a 12-year-old, it's still going to be sus to me.
I mean, I ask for ID every time anyway, so
Yeah,
I
mean, on
need to
principle.
know.
It's
I
just a
need to
policy.
know. If I see 2007 on there, I'm out.
Jesus Christ. I remember things I did in 2007.
But yeah, I think that some of this is very much Americanocentric regarding this specific part of the conversation.
It goes back to the subjective discussion. I guess it understands.
Definitely. I think what is evil is defined by societies generally.
Yeah. Which is where we go to what Gray was talking about, because people say, oh, how are you supposed to know what's good and evil if you don't believe in God? And I say people as in like that's usually a question in this general discussion. But that is why people have morals in society. It's not only because of God, it's because there are consequences socially to your actions.
Yes. And I am a Christian. I would say that God is the objective moral judger. But like, if you don't believe that God exists or you don't agree with what the Bible says, of course you're going to think that that's relative.
Yeah.
Well, but do you think that evil is universal? Like, is there an act so evil that if anyone did it, including God, it would be evil?
I mean, blasphemy is one of those that's listed. But I mean,
so if God's like, God damn it, it's just...
That would be hilarious. He just pops out of existence. I don't know. Like, let's see. Ask that question one more time.
So is it universal? If your God did it, would it be evil? Or is it divine command theory because God says it's good, it's good?
I don't know what divine command theory is, but that's what I'm leaning towards.
So then how would you ever know if, is there a... Excuse me, I knocked over dog treats. Is there a way to know that your God is evil? Or would anything that he does just be excusable? Like, if he told you to do some act that if anybody else told you to do, would it cease to be evil because you had a command from God?
No, because it's pretty plainly put in the text on what is evil and what is not. So God would never ask you to go out and do something that is against what he has already set forth.
Yeah, but if God could tell you to do something like go and kill these people. That's not evil.
That's happened in the Bible.
Yes, it does. And because it is his will and what he's telling you to do as a Christian, it's not evil to you. And he would not tell you to do something he doesn't want you to do, right? Is what you kind of said earlier.
Yeah, you're actually touching upon a thing that happened in what was it, Exodus, I think, because there was an entire portion of the tribe of Benjamin that was cut off, and all of them, men, women, and children, were killed. They were told to because they were they were worshiping a brass cow instead of God.
Mm-hmm. God was like, okay, yoink, fuck you. So he can do that sort of thing. And yes, as a Christian, you're supposed to be like, well, it's God. Now, people make moral judgments and say that is an evil thing that God has done. Outside of Christianity, right? You can say that.
Sure.
Like, that's it. It's something that when you look at in the Bible, you're like, wow, this is tough. I'm supposed to, just because it's God, I'm not supposed to find that evil. It'd be like, it's the will of God. It's the way that he wants things to go. So it's me. If God wants to, you can yoink me out of existence.
Wages of sin is death. It's a very popular thing that's said. It's in Romans.
I haven't gotten
New Testament using to justify Old Testament actions. It's usually how it's said.
I'm only on Deuteronomy now.
Dude.
So anyway, fine. It seems like when we do the moral judgment thing, we look at let's look at all of what we've done is gone over a lot of examples here, right? But let's get into how we have approached these examples just instinctively, right? So I've got this. Don't worry, I won't show the map, but I'm doing it for myself. Moral judgment is the main node here. I think that we do that. So we've got evil as a moral judgment, but when we go into a scenario, somebody gives us a scenario. Do we look at who is harmed? We do definitely look at harm, whether there is harm. Yeah. Okay, so there's harm, or is there harm? And I do think we do wonder about, is there intent, like knowledge? And when we mean by in knowledge, it's like, is there knowledge that the harm is going to happen and disregard for it? Is that okay? Is there harm? Okay, yes and no. And then is there so say there's yes, there is harm. There's like, was there knowledge of the harm? Right? Was there foreknowledge of the harm? And actually in the Bible, even if you don't have foreknowledge, you still have to repent. I'd argue Genesis 18:25 implies we have a duty to advocate for the innocent in such circumstances, even to argue with God. That's true.
Yes.
That is there are several moments that I've in the
Where
the Old
Moses has to
Testament.
go, come on, God, relax.
You gotta
Relax,
come on,
bro."
please, come on.
He's like, I'm going to kill them all. And he's like, please, come on. You invested so much.
Come on, just it's not. And he's like, fine, because you care about them. That's great. And of course we can get into the criticism of the Bible itself, where it's just like, oh, okay, you can argue with God, but He's all knowing and all
It's
good. And
literally the foundation of like why the Jews believe how they do. Like Judaism is all about like trying to reason with God. God, I know I did this thing on the Sabbath. Come on, like
yeah, come on. Seriously, he gives you the rules. He's like, listen, this is how many cows you got to give me. This is how many goats you got to give me, and then you will be fine. But otherwise, no.
why is the chat talking about Darth Vader?
My fault.
What did you do,
Okay.
Charles?
That reminds me. Let's get into. Okay, so wait. Do we want to go to your question here? No, I think Dorkus will go to your question just now.
Sure, I asked many.
I think, yeah. But no, the one that's in private chat right now. We guys, if you not remember, okay, as per our intro video, Hydra is a thinker, and I forced him to participate in this week's Think by giving us questions or just contributing to the discussion so we can talk about it. Does anyone want to do his voice?
I can.
Okay, let's see how it goes. So we've got can an evil person, this is Dorkus. Dorkus asks, can a evil person be redeemed? What does it mean to be redeemed? Is evil quantifiable? Why are evil characters in fiction, i.e. Vader, so iconic / likable? So those are all a mix of questions, and then Hydra had an opinion about it. So do you have that up, Bimo? Can you read it for us?
I can get it up here for a second.
Because he threw the Emperor. That's why.
I love transhumanism. Okay. Is Kitty evil?
True.
Apparently I am, because I didn't watch that video that's supposed to make me cry. And I still haven't.
Let's see. What do you want me to start?
Okay, start at his reply where he says my opinion. Yes.
Okay. All right, I gotta try and do his accent.
Come on.
Do you have an avatar that's like him making?
My opinion when it comes to Vader is the redemption of evil. That it always starts with a hook made from humanity. As alien and evil as Vader was, the horrors he committed, the fact that he could not allow his son to be killed and sacrificed himself for him humanizes him. Even if you pull out all the classic evil cards, dark outfit, hides behind mask. I sound like freaking Gru from Despicable Me. Anyways, where did I go? Dark outfit, hides behind mask, tall and speaks in terrifying, booming voice. Tortures people to death based on personal snap judgment. You can still open a door in the end if show that there are still human on some level, or engage with something that reminds you of humanity. The redemption for Vader more comes from the fact that in the end, he embraces the opposite of what he was for a long time, showing his ultimate humanity. The graphic demasking helps.
I love that.
Do you want me to keep going?
Dorkus,
got
let's
one
see
more, I
how you
think.
can do the last one.
Give it a try.
Sorry, I was typing something. Which part of Hydra's message are we?
I
I
would
would-
use this argument.
I would use this argument.
I would use I would use this argument to add my 2 cents to the discussion on evil. Agents with humanity are capable of the greatest of deeds, evil or good.
You're supposed to
It
be
is their-
speaking like Hydra, but okay.
He was an agent of
I
Hydra.
need to get into Hydra's. I cannot do his accent.
Okay,
What?
just
I
speak
cannot
Hydra.
do his
Roll your
accent.
R's.
We miss you, Hydra.
We do. It sounds like
Oh, yeah.
Charles has got a good Hydra
Nope.
locked in.
That's
Great.
false. Not true.
It is their actions in context and consequence that shape perception and potential, all interpreted by other agents with humanity, introducing fundamental distortions. As such, it is with actions, not words. Redemption is possible from different point of view. This is a thing that will never be precisely quantified, just like where does life begin or where it ends questions, and does
Inception.
not carry with it what?
Life becomes an
Conception.
Inception.
Wow.
Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry.
Be mine.
and does not carry with
What?
it internal rules or the
Who said-
concept of balance. Therefore, in my view, it is the responsibility of us agents with humanity to work towards a reality where there is less universally agreed upon evil, more universally agreed upon good. And no, people will never 100% agree on what those things are, as they are all products of different memories, times, actions, and cultures. This is my contribution to the sync.
Mm-hmm.
I think we nailed it.
Yeah. So Hydra's covered a lot of what we covered as well. About touches on the subjective thing. He's like, yeah, okay, I understand that it's subjective, but and he knows that we will not all agree. But it comes. We have to try at least to find some sort of consensus as far as we can, and we should try and reduce the most evil, the widely agreed upon evil, and increase the widely agreed upon good. I think that works. But this question of redemption there is quite an awesome thing. That was it was Dorcas's question, but he is saying, so look, there's certain actions that bring forth redemption. You have to do actions. You don't just say, I'm sorry. You have to do something that shows you have changed. It seems like that's what Vader did. He changed. He did something significant enough to show that he has changed from that evil state he was in.
That's what prison's
Discuss
supposed to be.
redemption. Hey?
Prison's supposed to be for rehabilitation,
Yeah.
Yes.
not
Mhm.
just
And-
straight punishment. You're supposed to rehabilitate in there.
And I think
Supposed to.
that acts of evil do not make someone necessarily evil. I mean, this definitely is one of the
Three strike,
cornerstones
you're
of
out,
my
sister.
religion. Literally, my religion is built off of you are inherently sinful and partake in evil. So you must redeem yourself. You must move away from those evil acts. And I think that, yes, people are able to change over time. So, yes, people are redeemable. And I think that's kind of how all of our society is built, at least in America.
So I don't know if it was you that said this, BMO, but I remember in our private discussion that the topic was brought up of I'm going back to the thing again, but people who go after underage people
Yeah.
should get the death penalty. So
Yeah.
how do you redeem yourself if the punishment for that act is termination?
I hope you come to grips with your maker before you die.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I guess that's as close as you can that I think it's a good, like, listen, bringing up that kind of thing is bringing up an extreme that we need to. It's a good gauge, because it's like, cool, we've decided. I mean, it's really hard to to argue anything good about that. Anything is good about the underage thing. So yeah, is that an irredeemable act? It's like, it sounds like BMO is doing what I do, where I'm just like, God, forgiveness is for God, because there's certain things that I just cannot, I can't get past, and I won't be able to.
You and I had that discussion in an episode we recorded recently.
Yes, it'll be in a couple weeks. You'll get that discussion.
Dang,
as well.
spoilers.
Uh-huh.
What the heck?
No One Asked You podcast. Subscribe.
They're gonna say no one asked you, BMO. Shut up.
But yeah, but basically, just that is the thing. Could we then say, because one of the earlier things about defining evil was evil is something that is done that's irredeemable.
Yeah, morally
and if there's
reprehensible.
something, yeah, morally reprehensible, when something's reprehensible, it's like, just no, out. And it's interesting that when something is that morally reprehensible, the counter is, yeah, you totally deserve to die. It feels okay. It feels like justice for a lot of people. It could be different for other people, that it's, it harms
Man,
you
I
to
got
harm
into a
other people.
long argument about this with someone just a couple days ago. And
Uh-huh.
it pissed me the hell off, because yes, I very much feel like, yeah, so there are a lot of things that you can do as acts where you surrender your right to live. Okay, that is just how it goes. You touch children, that is one of those things. You have surrendered your right to live.
Mhm.
But I had a lot of pushback because this was all about there was some laws going out that were specifically like raising charges of touching children to the death penalty.
Mhm.
And the argument was that this is going to result, historically through evidence, this is going to result in more death victims.
Well,
and I was having
Okay.
trouble
Going back to,
coming
like,
grips with that.
is it going back to like old school justice where it just gets carried out, or is there, do you actually have a trial and stuff? Is this just?
I think
the
everyone is
punishment?
entitled to a trial.
I'm just
Because
wondering,
I
like, do you get
definitely
due
should
process?
not be the arbiter of what is lawful or unlawful. I don't think I should be,
It
because
seems
I
like
definitely have opinions.
it seems like if you get to prison and you're in prison for kid stuff, it seems like vigilante justice takes place within the prison with the other
People.
prisoners,
Mhm.
not so much the officers. But it seems like there's this unwritten rule that people who have done things to kids have some vigilante justice to deal with.
Is that a good thing? I suppose. Are you okay with it, or would you be like, no, we must stop this. We must make sure that they don't do that. They don't get harmed. Put them in
That's kind of
solitary.
how I
keep them
feel about raising it to death penalty. But the thing is that then, if there's the fear of death, if you get caught, they're more likely to kill the children. And then that turned into a conversation of, okay, if they didn't kill the child, does that mean that they deserve to die? And man, that's a hard one to think about.
And what if someone's under the Romeo and Juliet law, where some 17-year-old is dating a 15-year-old? They've been together for a while. They age. He's 18 and she's 16. He officially falls under that law now and can be eliminated for his relationship that he's had for a while with an otherwise consenting partner.
He deserves to die. It's a technicality. I think there needs to be a.
I think if you're going to kill someone, I think things need to be very,
very clear cut.
Right.
I've made my opinions on the death penalty known on this channel before. The short of it was something to the effect of, I do believe there are things a person can do that would sacrifice their right to life. I don't trust the government to get it right 100% of the time, and therefore I don't necessarily support the death penalty. Therefore, I ask the question: why has no one brought up chemical castration as an option for those less inclined to the death penalty? Why jump to death penalty when there's this other option that could hopefully solve a big part of the
Visceral
problem?
reaction. You want something way more. You
just
actually want.
eliminate
You
the
don't want.
Both aren't reversible.
You don't want chemical castration. You want freaking castration. Let's go.
I mean, sure.
You
that
like this,
as well,
I'm like-
then. Just
that as well.
Hey, Zaxx.
Consider that. Hey, Zaxx.
What's up, guys?
Zaxx.
What's up?
What is up?
Mm.
I've been listening to most of this, so
Mhm.
don't want to interrupt too much. But yeah, I don't. You guys keep going. I'll jump in.
I have something that's in
Okay.
the I have something that's in the in from the chat. I've just started. Here's a thought: there is no good and evil. They're human constructs. And then
Okay.
later on, Fly Guy carried on and said that they are imaginary and whatever. And
Yeah, which is
for
retarded.
me, yeah, that's not clever. That's not
It's
true.
dismissing
Because-
the entire conversation we're having.
Yes, but it's dismissing human constructs as having been constructed. Just because they're human constructs doesn't
Like
mean they have
everything
no
is that at
place
that point.
yeah, in the world. Just because something is a human construct doesn't mean it does not exist. It still exists. You're just saying, you're arguing it's a fallacy of origin or whatever. You're saying, oh, the origin of it is just, it's arbitrary, therefore it doesn't exist. But it's like, no, it very much exists for us in our society. We have morals and they exist. Just because you want to talk about their origins or whatever, it doesn't matter. They still exist and they still very much govern our behavior.
That
Discuss.
everyone deals with, yes.
Yeah.
It's impossible to not deal with these types of questions because everyone has their knee-jerk reaction on whether something is right or wrong, and that's where these concepts of evil, I'd say, historically come from. Like, of course, I've got the religious context. I'm trying not to argue with the religious context specifically because I feel like it's more interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't agree with everything that Fly Guy is saying, but I don't know. I'm not sure whether evil exists. Like, to use the parlance of our times, yes, there is this thing that is clearly bad. We colloquially call it evil. I'm fine doing that, but if you're asking me to like actually define it, like when does a bad action become evil, I'm not sure that it does. I don't know. I've definitely heard kind of the religious explanation for it, but aside from that, I'm not sure that I quite understand it. I'm not sure that I buy into the concept of evil.
It's just bad.
So-
it's just harm. Yeah.
I might be.
I
able to
like
there
build
that
is
a bridge
harm,
with you
there's
here,
cruelty. If we're going to use any of those synonyms, fine. But it seems like evil is the absence of good. I'm not sure that anything has that.
though. Hey,
I'm
Jab.
not sure that that's possible. And hey, Jab.
But I might be able to build a bridge with you here, Gray, because okay, yes, you're saying it's the cruelty, all those other synonyms would be more acceptable, sure. But I'm thinking, what if, let's say, it's something through every society is seen as this is wrong, very, very wrong. Would you call that, or be able to at least rationalize that being called evil?
No, essentially that would be moral right or moral wrong. I don't think evil is synonymous with morals. I have morals. I don't know if I believe in evil.
To
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
question, Gray. Sorry, no, Zaxx, go.
Go ahead.
If evil is the absence of good, see, I believe that some people who have committed the most evil acts believe that they are doing good. So I don't know if I fully agree.
Yeah, can't
that
you not be good but also not be evil? You just be
Saying
like,
a neutrality
yeah. An absence
know.
of good doesn't mean evil,
can
right?
be
Like,
neutral in
So, yeah,
politics.
one of the questions that I
Yes.
wanted to ask, like, is it a spectrum? Because, like, we all have the colloquial term, the lesser of two evils. Obviously, we can weigh two things that we think are evil, and there can be one that's less. So, is it more of a spectrum, or is there actually like a straight up cutoff point? Anything beyond this is evil.
Hmm.
Okay, Fly Guy, just a second before you go. I'm only jerking myself off here, just so you know. I'm not going to jerk off these other people. Only myself will be jerked
Aw.
off. And if they would like to offer me a hand, I would accept it, but it's not required. Yeah,
I'm doing
sounds good. Yeah.
Zaxx is not even feeling it though, Charles. You're not doing it very well.
I just did. Just give me 20 minutes. I'll be back.
What you mean for?
Anyway.
So a lot of stuff. I don't know how much I should get into, but so I've experienced a lot of people that I would consider to be, or you feel to be evil. I've spent significant time with people who most would consider to be evil. And I can tell you that, like, from my experience, there is evil, and it is in people. And so as a concept, it's different, like, to have a discussion about why it exists, what makes something evil. But what I've learned is that there is a level of, you could call it bad, I guess, or whatever you want to label it as, that it's so bad that it creates like a cognitive dissonance for you to try to understand that another human being did these things, and that they meant to do these things, and that on some level they enjoyed these things.
So intent is important to you.
Intent is always important. So there's obviously what would you call it, negligence, right, which is not quite intent, but it's, this could happen, and so you did this. I'm talking about, like, well, you brought up the chemical castration. So that is a solution that people tried. It's difficult to monitor in the community because people who are like little kids, they like little kids, and the chemical castration works, except for a lot of them are driven by that desire. So then they get out, they take their injections, and then they take off, and it wears off, and they're in the wind, and they don't really care about anything else anymore. And so it works temporarily. It's difficult to maintain. I have another example where there was a guy who was getting out of prison, who shouldn't be getting out of prison. I actually helped keep him in prison, but
nice.
He was going to be released because he was a PDF file. He was so old that he could prove that he was incapable of having an erection, and so by that was a level of protection for society. But on the DL, he got a prescription for Cialis.
What?
Oh. Yeah.
And so I found out about that. So I got to keep him in jail. But like, he was going to get out, and he had a separate doctor in the community that nobody knew about. And so that's he's had years to think about this. Every therapy you can anticipate that he had, and still, like, his driving goal is I want to get out there and I want to get this medication so I can go do this again.
So then you go to the next step and forget about chemical castration. Go directly to castration.
Is that effective?
I mean, there's devices and objects, though, Charles.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? We don't think of these things. They do. Yeah.
I have so many, like, I've worked in the specialized units, and I know a lot of this stuff, and I don't like to talk about it because it's hard to wrap your head around. And most people, a lot of times, that's why people will enable behavior, because they can't understand that a person would be doing this. They want to believe that this person they think they know would do this. They would never do something like that. So they enable it because they ignore it.
Sweet baby angel, yeah.
Right, yes. They pretend it's not happening, and they'll even, make available other victims because they're not doing evil on purpose. That's negligence, right? They're not doing it to hurt someone. They can't wrap their head around that this is a thing someone wants to do. I have really extreme examples. I don't know if you want to hear them, but of evil.
No, I think we should. I don't know. Maybe we should go into the extreme examples. I'm okay with that. What do you guys think? Don't follow.
Sure.
If you don't want to get into it, say no.
I'm fine with
Got one. Would we call this one evil? So there's the youngest serial killer in the world. It's this kid out of India. I think when he was like 6, he ended up strangling a 6-month-old and then burying it. The parents found out about it, so they kind of covered it up, and then just the kid apparently went missing. And then he strangled, I believe it was his sister, who was born like 6 months later. Anyway, this dude has 3 bodies. He's killed 3 different kids by the time he's 8, and then they couldn't hide it anymore, even though they moved to a different town. He was found and he was jailed. He's now like in his 20s and he's out.
What about the parents?
Is this an evil person?
The parents are worse for
So
covering it
the
up.
parents seem to be very culpable of it. They found out about it, and when they asked him, like, why did you kill your sister? He just smiled, and it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it
How do you
does seem
not
like there's
kill your
something wrong with
child?
this person, but are they evil or do they like lack a certain I don't know conscience that we have or
There's
whatever?
no
Split their
excuse.
brain in
to-
half.
What, Beamer?
So is that pure evil
brain in
or
half.
is that
Cut the
I'm
middle
just
part.
saying like
That's what it sounds
dealing
like.
with a lot of animals, there are some that have personality issues that like they just seem to be assholes. They play too rough. Like we're saying that's not evil because it doesn't have a choice.
Because it's
do we know
natural.
that
It
there
doesn't have a
aren't
choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we know that humans aren't similar in that way? Like some of us are just broken. Like they don't have a conscience. They don't have, like sociopathy exists.
So if they don't, yes, I understand that. If they don't have that, they are we need to remove them. That's the thing. Like what you do with it. So say if what happens when you got a rabid dog or whatever, you have to put that thing down. So yeah, you could have compassion and be like, oh well, they don't know they don't know. But it's still, I feel this is the way I'm just feeling, just my moral compass here is like, oh, that's still so wrong. I don't feel sorry for them, actually. Maybe I can go all the way down and say, oh yeah, they really, really, because now Zaxx, how does this make you feel because you've
Well,
seen this evil in people and
Yeah.
it's like, it doesn't comprehend. So you're just like, oh, they must be crazy.
have a
That
question.
you're saying people do that. Yeah.
Were
I
they
think it's
possibly born on an Indian burial ground?
ooh.
They were born in India. I don't know if it was in a burial ground. Unclear.
India. Mm.
So okay,
Yeah.
you're telling me India. There's a lot of lineage
extreme
issues
poverty.
with Indian extreme
A
poverty.
very tough family. The kid was abused.
That makes sense.
None of that excuses the actions.
Of course. So I'm just thinking it goes back to that they're not in their right mind. It seems, and that's what I would have to bank off of.
Well,
of
you
like,
could
okay,
be this example is kind of like this person was born out of their right
Yeah.
mind.
They don't have a right mind. That is their right mind. That's their
Mm.
only mind. That's it. So they know those consequences. They know they shouldn't do it. Obviously, it's
Mm.
wrong. Even if they don't have the same ability to comprehend that as we might, they still he knows clearly that what he's doing is wrong. And I don't know what his motivation is for doing it, but like psychopaths
Lord
and sociopaths, they don't have
Sorry,
to like
Luca.
always. No, they don't have to hurt people. Like you can have that diagnosis, and it doesn't mean that you're going to go try to kill somebody. It means
Yeah.
you can understand that you wouldn't feel bad for doing it, possibly, but it doesn't make you go and actually act on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
But would you consider this kid evil? Or
Yeah.
is this somebody who's, definitely broken, has issues?
certainly.
I don't know. Would this cross that threshold of evil? It is the youngest serial
I
killer
think
on
so.
record.
I think.
Yeah.
I
For me, it
think
does.
so, but I have to separate it from the person. I think it is an evil act that they are doing because they murdered multiple people.
But this child, buried. So that's another thing to look at. This child buried they killed their sister. He killed the sister and then buried it. So he
Malicious
knew
intent.
that he had to hide it. So usually what happens in a court when you're trying to figure out whether somebody's insane or not is, did they know what they were doing is wrong and they continued doing it? That seems to be part. I know we're not, court and morality are not exactly the same thing, but it is why would we consider that in a court of law? We are supposed to be making moral judgments in a court of law. So I'm with that you need to look at whether the person knew and did not care, and also whether they tried to hide it. And this fact that this child tried to hide it, he knows that it is wrong. He had the external factor. He knew that there were bad consequences, and then he tried to avoid them. Oh, I don't know. Jab. Hey, Kitty, could I join the stream, please?
I mean, I don't mind.
For money.
Since
For money?
when does he ever want to join the stream?
Ever. Jab.
Yeah.
He's just got time. So wait,
The
let's
last
see
time
here.
that he wanted to join the stream was January 6th. It was a discussion on January 6th.
Oh, I mean, it seemed like a party.
Okay,
Is the chair fixed, Jeb? That's the main question.
that Lord Cameron's just like squeak, squeak. Okay, I'll let you in. I'll let you in, but I might mute your ass if you're ugly.
All right.
Because
If you're ugly. Have you seen his profile picture? It's Jerry. You
No,
can't be
not
ugly.
it's no, it's ugly as in you're being mean. Anyway, continue,
Yeah.
Zaxx. Can you
He's
give
going
us
to
your
be Fly
example?
Guy's representative.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't this is a different example, but it goes to what we were talking about with sanity and right mind. And I knew a guy who he had hurt numerous people, and he was schizophrenic, and so he would have all of these hallucinations, and it was constant for him. And he was so focused on not hurting people that he would take his meds. He would talk to anything he saw, he would tell us about, even though it was like wacky. And you get down to the level of he knew a lot of the stuff he saw wasn't actually happening. But then there's a level behind that where he's like, but I think this might be actually happening. So can you tell me, is this really a thing? Is this he thought there was like someone hiding under his bed. Like his reality was his offenses were never premeditated. It was just he was a giant dude, and he would just lash out at people. And so he would take his meds, and he every part of his being was to make sure he didn't hurt anyone again. And so even though he did things that you could say were evil as a person, he as soon as he got the help he needed, he used that help to not hurt anyone again. So it's just a different, I was proud of him.
And so that would that be so there? That goes back to what Hydra was saying, that acts, the way that you deal with your behavior, it changing, showing changes and things like that. That is a path to redemption. Hi, Jab. I can hear birdies. Or is it?
Hi.
I just hear bad audio.
Can you hear
We
me?
can.
Yeah,
guys?
we can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, we
good.
can hear you.
Yep.
Nice to hear you.
Hi, Jab. Jab is an
Alright, what's
original
up?
thinker. He was in the first Think.
Was I?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't
You
know it
were.
went back that far. Damn.
BMO wasn't.
Your picture
Nope.
is
Wow.
I
blurry
replaced
and just to the bottom of you.
My picture is blurry.
Oh,
Is it-
in the background art. I'm just saying, you have
Oh,
proof
Yeah.
that you were an
I
OG
see.
thinker.
I
Mhm.
can't put. Do you have like face cams turned off? I don't know what's wrong with this. Trying to turn
Obviously,
my
face
camera
cams
on.
aren't turned off, as for some reason it's making you transparent.
He's
whenever
turning
you
his
put it on.
camera on because of
Yeah,
what I said. No, I'm saying as
no,
if you'd be.
I'm not. Hey, listen. I'm not going to let you insult me. Okay, I'm not going to let you.
I was
stand
not.
by
I was
me.
saying that if you're
And
ugly, as in
call me
if you're
ugly.
mean, like BMO.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Of catching strays. Jab, I replaced you, so you and I have to fight to the death to find out who stays.
Oh God.
Oh, there you go.
Oh no.
Put you guys next to each other.
Well,
Fight.
I kind of have seniority over you, BMO. So I was here first.
And I have
he's been in
seniority
more
over you 'cause
things
I'm older
now.
than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have
Respect your elders.
have longevity. Okay, I've been here
Anyway,
longer.
so
More frequently,
Jab is
but
going to be
longer.
hot, says Squiddy. Jab
I've seen
is
Jab.
proving he's hot. Well, it's coming. It's,
They're in.
I mean, I haven't turned anything off. Everybody's allowed to have a face cam.
I don't know what the hell is wrong with this.
The children are biting.
You
Okay,
gotta go into your settings
StreamYard
and switch your
being-
source for video.
So,
It's on built-in camera. FaceTime HD built.
Yeah, you
camera.
gotta switch it on to something else and then turn it back to the other. I've dealt with this.
technical support.
I don't have I don't have one option for what I can switch it onto.
Well, shit.
Well, shit.
Whale shit.
Whale shit.
Mhm.
Whale shit.
Well, so we were talking about this guy. So are evil people insane? I guess we do
Right.
want to, call tech support. BMO is tech support.
I have literally done tech support.
BMO is face camming. What's wrong with you guys? There, you can see
Yeah,
his face.
this is
Look,
me.
look,
It's
that's
me.
a face. Hello?
And it's a
It
me.
even moves. It moves when he talks. So I don't know what you guys are on about. So Zaxx, tell us more stories about the
Evil people. Yes.
about the evil.
So that guy I was talking about, one of his delusions was that he believed that there was a chip in his head behind his eyeball, and that was the one thing I could never get him to like ever really fall back from. He would be like, okay, but there is a chip in here, and it was partially because he had like some issues with his eye. So then when he was alone, he convinced himself, okay, well, that's why I have an issue with my eyes. There's a chip in here. But he desperately did not want to hurt anyone, and when he was on the street, drinking instead of taking his medications, he was a danger to anyone around him, and he didn't like that about himself. And he was like very low IQ, lots of brain damage, and on top of his schizophrenia. So that's it. He was definitely insane. You would consider him to be that, but he did not want to hurt people. He did everything he had to do to make sure he didn't do that. And so you can see the effort that's put into it. And there's other people that I know that they would go the other direction and try to get away from things that would stop them from hurting other people. And it's, when you get to know the people, you get to know what would trigger that. And it's a struggle to not do it for some of these guys, especially if they have mental health issues. But the ones who put the work in, like they can do it, and the ones who don't want to put the work in, they find a way to get away from it. Like there's so many like horrible, I don't know, like there's an example I've got which is really bad, so I don't want to chat. So this guy, he and his wife had a baby, and after yeah, you may not want to hear this. So and he had a job, relatively normal life, in as far as what people knew. But after giving birth, his wife did not want to have sex. It was painful. He got very abusive with her, ramping up from that point on, trying to force himself on her. And she would fight back, and it would get bad, and it would get rough. And so he one night beat her to the point where she was like barely conscious, and then he made her watch as he raped their baby to death. Oh yeah, over a period of time. That's
how
so. And if you talk to the guy, give him long enough, he will start to roll back on. He starts to try to excuse it, which not
gives
not
you
right
reason.
away.
I was
Right, he's like,
hungry.
but
Okay?
yeah, he's like, I didn't mean to. That wasn't what I wanted to happen. If she would have just then, so he's blaming. Yeah.
He's blaming the other people instead of himself for his actions.
Right. But he knows enough to not present that to most people right away. It's only over time. And if he's caught doing something else or he's in trouble for something, he's like, well, really? Then he starts excusing it.
Not right away. You wait till hour 2 of the dinner party to bring that
It's the
story.
long con, okay?
What the hell?
But it's what he believes as well.
It's
so
second date material.
Yes. He believes it, which is why he falls back on it.
Yeah, because so he knows how to game, I suppose, game a system in that try to make someone, be okay. Oh, I'm sorry about it. I know it's wrong. But then if you really do push a little bit more, he falls back on it's actually not wrong. You guys are just full of shit.
I think gaming expectations and gaming the system is present in everything. I think
Any system.
right. Severity of how we grade these things is where it like really comes into the discussion.
So this one,
this one, you have more?
Well, this was one of the worst ones, and it was one of the ones that you're sitting with this person, and like you can't believe that they can excuse first of all, how do you live with yourself? But hey, how do you
Mhm.
do that in the first place? So so your brain is doing this exercise like, okay, how could someone actually do this? And then you look through all the information and you're like, oh, yeah, this is exactly what happened. And then then they start to like roll back on it a bit. You're like, how can you possibly try to excuse this? And you have a hard time understanding like their process. Like, how are you able to do this? And usually, like, it really does piss you off.
Are they either a sociopath or a psychopath? I mean, like,
No,
to convince
They
yourself.
took the wrong path.
Yeah.
not diagnosed as, but
Like
like
to
no,
convince
but you
yourself that you're right or things aren't what they are. Like that's believing your own lie at that point, isn't it? Isn't that like a trait of psychopathy where you
Yeah.
tell a lie enough that you start believing it?
yeah,
I don't even think they need to lie to themselves.
they're lying to me.
Mhm.
It's impression management, and they can't. I don't know if they can't help it, but it's stupid to do it because it doesn't work. And people call like there's not a conversation when it happens. It's that's the end of the conversation for that. But yeah, there are people like that, and there's no. I don't know how that's not just a bad thing he did.
Mhm.
You know,
This
it's intent.
You can try and say that his moral compass is off, and that is what's wrong with him. It's a mental illness, and you must be crazy. But it's still who he is and what he believes, and he still needs to be accountable for that. And he's still a problem. He's still a danger. He's still something that does not deserve to be in society. Like,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Then you have to ask the question: why are these people being left alive in prisons? I mean, it's
Why are
because
they
we
awful.
being
might be
left
wrong
alive?
about them.
Yeah, like why are they allowed to rot in prison? It's a hard question.
Yeah.
Because
It's a hard one.
because you would want to. If there's anything that makes you want the death penalty, it's that.
Yeah.
And you'd think he'd want that himself, but of course if anything, I would say he's more of a narcissist than, but I can't diagnose people, but that's
Mhm.
how he comes across, how he presents himself. But-
Your Honor, my moral compass is off. I'm sorry. That needs a bit of a tweaking. Oopsie. It's fine. Jab is back. Badge.
I'm sorry, Your
So,
Honor, I wasn't locked in.
All right, so the better.
Yes.
Yay!
Hey, you grew your hair out.
There he
Got a
is.
camera now.
Here I
Okay,
am.
kicking him. Hitting.
I got a
hitting,
camera.
hitting. Camera supremacy.
All I see is 140p.
It's
Still supreme.
He's such a baby.
Better than BMO.
You got such a baby face, Jab. Okay, we've lost him.
He's frozen.
Good talk.
He's stuck in the smile.
Yeah. Good smile. It's a good smile.
He's
though.
got a golden smile. We'll never
Oh,
forget
and-
that smile.
That's kind of creepy.
Yep.
Come on, somebody screen
Golden
grab.
smile.
Oh, fuck. Well, either way, we can do it. Looks like a
He's not a
child.
You were
Child.
frozen in a smile.
He's not
an
a
adult.
child.
Now, sir.
He's an adult. They've got new rules, hey? You can't. You have to
Barely.
be over
He
16.
barely counts.
Yeah, that's evil. Okay, that's
Luigi. Wow.
Look at his hair as well.
Wait, Luigi Mangioni's out of prison? Oh, interesting.
Oh
Free
shit!
Luigi.
So, did you hear the horrible story
What? No, what was
From
the horrible
Zaxx?
You
story?
picked a good time to have an issue.
No, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
you don't
don't.
want to. You don't want to hear.
No,
it.
you know what? Do you have
It was a
another one,
pretty horrible
Zaxx?
story.
Zaxx is
Another
telling us
one?
crime stories, and I think when we're talking about evil, guys, I think these are really good examples.
I would like to
Don't-
sleep at least once
Yeah.
more
Don't
before I
repeat it.
die.
Oh, you've
Don't
already
repeat it,
slept,
don't-
though.
I guess you're just
Yeah.
going to have to go
Okay,
back
well-
and look at the stream.
Well, we could talk about
I have
other
one. Here.
ones. Oh, okay. You got one. Go right ahead, Zach.
Other ones.
So this is a different kind of evil.
yeah, I
This
got a
is,
couple.
he was motivated by money. This was financial, and it was about an inheritance. And so,
I think it's brutal.
he was going to be cut out, possibly, or he needed it now. He was involved in some stuff with organized crime at the time, so he was
Oh.
needing money, and so he killed his aunt and uncle, and then burned their farm down. And then when he got arrested for that, they didn't have enough to hold him forever on it. And so he got out while that trial was going on still. And then while he was out, he had a cousin. We had several cousins.
Must be Italian.
He would go around and intimidate his family to say, like, listen, sign off your rights on the farm, or something might happen to you. And
Like
he
was in court. He was being shown consequences, but he was like, you know what? It's cool. I'm out.
I'm gonna double down, and he thought he can get off on that charge. He was confident that he could, and so they put calls in to obviously to supervising bail officers, and so he was going to be picked up, and before he was picked up, he killed his cousin and his cousin's wife, but then they had a baby.
Oh my God!
But he drew the line at the baby. He left the baby in the crib.
Good.
So
he had principles.
So he
goes in
can be
jail forever,
redeemed.
and he's not getting his inheritance. But he gave it a go. So is that evil? Yes, for sure. It's just a different kind of. He didn't start by killing. Like the killing thing was after, and then it was. Well, now I'm gonna double down, and it's fucked up. But
it's just stupid.
Go to the Italians on the farms. That's true. That's true.
Can we get Jab's opinion on this subject before he disconnects again?
Yeah. Jab, maybe you can turn off your camera. If it'll help. So you're just sending
Might
audio.
use less bandwidth.
Yeah.
For a moment, he's being threatened to let go of his inheritance.
Oh no.
He's literally looking on the side. Turn your
It's just
camera
the next
off.
room we see is a bloody stain.
Turn your camera off so we can hear you.
Okay, so the ones that Zaxx has described, they seem pretty evil.
Pretty.
I don't see. Yeah, pretty. I'm gonna go out there. In fact, they might even be moderately evil. Yeah. So I'm saying those seem like absolutely horrible stories. What about ones that are a little bit different? Like, say, a normal person who's had a pretty normal history. They can even be like a pretty loving parent, and then say they go through like postpartum depression or something. Like, there's all those stories of like the mothers driving cars into lakes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are they evil? It seems to be an issue with particularly in those cases postpartum.
Women shouldn't be
it seems to
driving
be
at all.
affecting.
Let's get that out there.
It's a good point.
We need to talk about Kevin.
I'm just saying, like, it is an evil act or a very horrible act, but I don't know. I guess you could say the same thing about, like a parent leaving a child in the car in the summer or whatever. There have been some really horrible people who might have been using that for like an excuse, but like, man, there's so many people who just apparently they're just not thinking. They're like on autopilot or whatever. And I don't know. Is that an evil act? Is that evil? Like, obviously it's a tragedy, but
it's a tragedy, I would say. Yeah, that's where we come to this intent part. There's intent, there's knowledge, there's disregard for the harm that will be caused by your action. Can anyone think of anything other than harm being part of why something is evil?
I have a question for Jab Slant. Quickly, how do you feel about women driving? Do you think they should be allowed to drive and/or vote? If you don't respond, you do not believe they should have those rights, and I accept that.
No
That's
responses endorsement. Awesome.
fine.
Yeah.
Responses endorsement. Yeah.
We've decided that. Yeah.
How do you feel about black people? What do you think?
I'll endorse them.
Wow, that silence says a lot.
That's, I always
Jab
knew
just
you were
came
a
in here to
Republican.
be an example of evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh man, has anyone here read the book The Problem of Evil?
No.
Who does that one? It sounds very familiar.
The problem
it
of
was
evil
very-
is
Can
a
everyone hear me?
yes.
Yeah.
Now we can.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just making sure.
Could you hear us? Because I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
I could
Zaxx
hear
was
you.
just
Yeah, I was
asking
having
you,
technical problems. I
and
think
the
it's a
first
bad
thing you said
choice.
wasn't women can drive and vote. Nothing like
Yeah.
that.
Nothing.
All right, good, because that's the truly evil thing. Women
Women
suffrage.
driving?
Women
Mhm.
Women suffrage.
Okay, so what is your opinion on what on all of the stuff you've heard?
On evil,
Yeah.
I've been listening a little bit tangentially, but
Mhm.
not tangent, but I guess, does anyone here think that evil is a separate category for morality?
I do not
Separate
think so.
from what?
No. So you say it's kind of like an extreme of just really, really immoral.
I would say so personally.
Yeah. Okay. So who else treats it kind of like a scale of gradation?
So I'm not
think
sure
there's
on
levels
it.
to-
I'm agnostic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if evil exists.
Yeah.
I've only seen
Even
it
after
kind of
hearing
in religious
Zaxx's
terms.
story,
Yeah, I think those are really
Right.
horrific acts. I think they are immoral acts, but I don't know that it is the absence of good. Who
Mhm.
knows? There might have been good in those scenarios, like it brought families closer together in some weird way. Who am I to
No.
say? But
I would
got a-
not say so. But okay.
I've got another kind of interesting question. So if
Mhm.
what's the role of free will in evil? A lot of times depictions of something being evil will be like Satan or, some horrible malevolent force, right? Is that thing evil? Like, do we judge it morally because it's evil? Like, does it have any decision?
Yeah, I think
to
free
be
will.
evil, or is it just evil by its nature?
No, oh, evil by
And then
nature.
Yeah,
I
and then
think
if it's evil by its nature, is it truly evil then?
Gray, that's what I want to ask Gray, because it seems like Gray,
Yeah.
you're saying there is no such thing as this evil thing that is just evil and that's it.
I'm
Its
unconvinced.
nature is.
If we're
only
talking
evil.
about things that are bad, things that cause harm, if we're talking about something that's immoral, like, yeah, I think we'd all agree on that. But I'm not getting a definition on from anyone that, like, what evil actually is or what differentiates bad from evil. And that's why I'm saying I'm agnostic on it. Like, at this point, I don't know what benefit that term adds to anything. So if we're just using it as a synonym, sure, yeah, I believe in bad.
Yeah,
but
I think that's what we're doing is how you can perceive it. I think that's what Gray is saying. Is it's not that he's not saying it's not evil. He's just saying there's no distinction between evil and badness. That's it. It's not that he's saying, oh, the
mean,
child
know.
rapist is not evil.
Maybe you could say evil is bad in the same way that, or evil is to bad
Mhm.
as what fantastic is to good.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just a gradation of badness.
It's just really, really, really bad. So
Nicholas, you're
you know what?
awake.
There you
How's it
go.
going, Nick?
Evil is worse than bad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that
Yeah.
it's on the scale of
Yeah.
good to bad. It's like really, really out there in terms of badness, right? Does
I think
anyone
that
here
is
know
more
what
of a broad
emotivism
term.
is?
Motivism? I've heard of it
Emotivism.
before. Emotivism.
Emotivism.
It rings a bell, but I don't know.
I think it
basically-
makes, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Basically, it's just like most things, specifically morally, but it can apply to other instances of things, are just an expression of your underlying emotions. So when you say murder is bad, all you're really saying is, I feel like I don't like murder. It makes me feel bad, right? Because I have a negative feeling about murder, right? And so in the same way, when we say something is evil, we're really just saying it's really, really, really bad. I think that's what most people
Mean.
mean when they say something is evil, at least colloquially.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think that's what Gray is
No.
accepting.
Yeah, I think
But
there is
those are
nothing
the
further.
emotions behind it. Yeah.
The gradation, of course, I agree with. I just think the reason why we have words like evil are to show how extreme that act is, because I think spitting in someone's drink is bad, but I would not say that that is evil. Whereas, like, let's say Zaxx's thing of like what happened to that child before they died and all of that, I would call that evil because it's freaking up there. It's up there
And
in
it
those.
seems like there can be. It seems like there can be badness without intent. So they can say, "Oh, that's bad," and we can call that bad, and because it was a bad thing that happened, it was not a good thing. But when evil is involved, it seems like there is this intent. So the fact, like, okay, so we have the difference between manslaughter and murder. Okay, so like, okay, by accident you killed someone. That's a bad thing because the person died. But then an evil thing, intentionally you killed that person. That's where because the question from people was like, what is the difference between bad and evil then? What's the gradation? I think intent can be one of those factors that you think it's a knowledge that you're going to cause harm, and then disregarding that harm and us disregarding it and wanting it. Like the thing that you're talking about, Zaxx, like wanting to do that you see people that wanted to do the crimes that they committed. Stretch.
I mean, I think when you say bad, when you say something like bad is such a linguistically, it's a broad term you can use to label anything bad. Like cutting someone in line is bad, and so you have to have like a way to gradiate that term to be, this is worse than that, and it's worse than that for these reasons. So I think you can define that. There is a line, and there's maybe a bit of a shady area in there, but like to label it bad, I think is a way to it's kind of a philosophical cop out, maybe to have to make a judgment on something and say, well, it's just, I think everything is just bad or maybe good, and that's all there is. And there's levels to that game, and there's tiers to bad and evil, and you kind of, maybe it's a thing where you know it when you see it. I don't know. I think most people can get it. And like the best explanation I had is what I gave earlier, where you can't understand how another person who has the same functions as you could actually want to do that to someone else. And that's that's a level beyond just bad. I can't wrap my head around this. It's incomprehensible.
So no reasonable person would carry out that act, right? Like that's kind of where you're going with this. Just want to make sure that I'm following correctly.
Yeah. Reasonableness is a good test, sure.
So let's go back to Jab's thing. Sorry, go Jab.
Oh, no.
Basically, what you were talking about, so the thing that you brought up is this nature. So say it's just their nature to have these bad intentions. So it's established, we've all agreed, okay, yeah, intent has something to do with it. So having intent and knowledge, and it's just their nature. It's just, Sauron is he's just pure evil, and that's just the way it is. We need to just understand that's because
that muddies the waters. Objective evil exists in the Lord of the Rings.
Yes, sorry. So, but think about it. We spoke about nature, and we said, we can't really call, say, a lion that kills the cubs of an opponent evil, because that's just nature. He doesn't have the capacity to know what he never ate from the fruit, the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. He didn't eat from that tree, so he doesn't have that. So we can't really call it evil. We can say that's pretty bad, but there's no intent there because there's no conscience. So are you trying to put that trying to make us think about evil people in that way, that's just their nature?
Yeah. In a similar vein, would anyone in here call Jeffrey Dahmer evil?
Yes. We are actually already went over that.
Okay.
But also, hold on, Jab, you were interrupted by a super chat, so you need to read it.
Does the inverse imply good without intent? Does the inverse imply good? Like, can good exist without intent? That's a good question. Like, is someone good if they can't do anything otherwise, right? Like, part of morality is the choices that you make, right? That's something that we tend to factor in, right? Like what you could have done otherwise. With that being said, to flip it back around onto Jeffrey Dahmer, I don't know if you guys talked about this already, but something about, or it's kind of disputed, but something about psychopaths is that, right, they don't have like the cognitive ability to feel basic human empathy, right? Or sympathy.
Mhm.
So
One of my closest friends.
yeah, so
Do
if a sociopath, psychopath goes and murders a child, well, how can we hold them morally accountable when for a normal person there would be cognitive mechanisms in their brain that would prevent them from going and murdering said child?
I have a response to that.
What's that?
I do too.
Should we hold the fringes of society to different standards than the majority?
Should we hold the fringe?
Okay, that's a question as an answer. What was Zaxx's answer? Just keep that in
I
mind,
wouldn't-
Jeff.
Oh, my answer is that the lack of a conscious or conscious consequences doesn't compel the action. So just because you wouldn't feel bad for doing something doesn't make you do that thing. So that's what the separation of a psychopath and a psychopathic murderer or killer. They motivated to kill people. It wasn't an accident. They may not feel bad about it, but neither would necessarily feel bad, but they wouldn't be compelled to do the evil act.
So they should be able to have that knowledge. They still have it consciously that this is not a good thing to do, and they should just not
Right.
do it. They should have a code essentially, and not be, and still be able to. It's still wrong. They have still overstepped a line. I think I'm with you on that.
I mean, it's not even just that. Sorry, it's like you leaving someone who you think might not crossing the street to spit on someone who's on fire. Like that's shitty, right? But you didn't set them on fire. Like there's the action to go and commit the offense to hurt the person that you're taking, and that's not because you're a psychopath. That's why you wouldn't feel bad for it, but it doesn't make you go to your house and go and do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, there's an extra motivation.
So you would say the defining moral characteristic of evil is the separating act between good and evil is the mechanism, the cognitive mechanism that allows you to have empathy, if that made any sense.
Allows you to have empathy. I mean, you don't need to have the empathy.
So what if any regular person who's fully mentally capable, right? No, like they're what's the word? Like their just brain functions are normal. They're working fine. Them being placed in a situation where they have the ability to maybe want, like in a moment of rage or anger, to want to do serious evil or harm to another person, but because they know, right, they have that aspect of empathy that allows them to prevent themselves from taking that extra step, right? Why, I guess, what's kind of substantially making their moral judgments different, or what's giving them moral credibility over the psychopath, right? When the only differentiating thing is the cognitive mechanism of empathy.
Well, on the flip side, what about someone who does what's publicly perceived as good, but they're only doing it like people who like give hundreds of dollars to homeless people for the sake of TikTok content? They're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it for content's sake. So they recognize it's good and people like that. But you know, what is their motivation? It's not just straight doing the good thing, because if it was, they wouldn't be doing it for TikTok.
Yeah.
What are we working with there? Yeah.
So
no, I think there has to be a conscious. I think the fact is they're
to
conscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're conscious though. They're still making a choice, and that's another thing that is happening when we.
But there's a conscious mechanism that they don't have that doesn't prohibit them from taking an evil or an act that we would consider evil, right? They
still know ontologically that it is factual that everybody else in the world has. I've learned, because I know there are laws, and I need to. So the reason people don't murder, you know, one of those jokes is like, the reason some people are alive is because murder is illegal. It's like, well, that's actually it. That should be enough. for them? And that comes back to Bimo's question, which was a really good question. Do we then give them different standards? I don't think so. I think we
No, I
would
definitely
need
don't
to
think so.
maintain our own standards.
Mhm.
You're
Well,
making
I'm
excuses.
I'm talking about from a principle of morality. Like, how do we morally judge these people as evil? Right? Is evil a
Vigorously.
moral
No squeaky chair.
categorization? It seems like it, right?
Yeah,
Well, okay.
I don't have
Hmm.
that deep sympathy that makes it that it's like, oh, he can't but
Yeah.
be who he is. It's just his nature that is evil. He's still evil. It's still he's still evil to me. It's not, oh he can't be. I'm not going to be the person that goes and pets the shark and goes, oh, it's not dangerous.
I'd pet a
Like-
shark.
Well, you're just stupid.
Okay. Well
That's
then,
not evil.
not.
well then, by
I'm
that,
smart.
well then, by that token, you would call the shark that eats a child on the
Mhm.
shore evil, right?
No. I'm talking about it being dangerous. So if I've
Rude.
decided that the nature is danger, okay, the
Mhm.
nature of it is dangerous. I know it's dangerous. That doesn't mean that, and I know that it cannot be anything but dangerous. Okay, it's only its nature. I can't blame it for anything. I'm going to stay away from it, and I'm still going to label it danger. Okay,
Mhm.
that's
Well,
danger,
danger-
and then substitute with evil. I see it as evil. I see that it is unable to have the same intent as me. It is evil. I'm not going to have sympathy for it. I'm not going to make excuses for it. I'm still going to give it the same moral
Well, I think there's a little
compass.
there's a little bit of
test.
conflating two different categorical things. When people talk about something being dangerous, there's not really a moral implication or like an implication of choice in what's happening,
Mhm.
right? It's just kind of what it is. When people talk about something being evil, right, usually there's a very implicit understanding of this is an immoral action,
Mhm.
which is boiled down to this is a choice that a person is making that's deeply wrong that we don't
Mhm.
condone morally, right? That's what people
They're
that's what
making
people
the
mean when they say evil, right?
Yeah, and
Whereas
you're saying
danger-
that they don't have that mechanism
Mhm.
that should
Yeah,
make
if
that
people-
helps them make the right choice.
Yeah,
I
if
still
people don't have
have
that mechanism that allows them to
Mhm.
have that right choice that anyone
I
else would make in another
yeah,
situation,
I'm
a similar situation.
that's shit. That's shit. But I'm not going to excuse them for it. I don't know. I can't remove myself all the way to that and say, okay, well, because I think it goes back to also what Zaxx is saying is that because my mind cannot be in that state of
Mhm.
I cannot imagine being that devoid of care, that devoid of
Well,
of
then-
morality. I can't
Okay,
do it,
yeah,
and
so like you
I
literally
guess
can't be, right?
yeah. So I guess
Well,
I'm a
then-
hypocrite for it, and I'll accept it wholeheartedly.
Well, so then what gives you more moral credibility than the psychopath?
Midi-chlorians.
Oh my god.
More
And it comes
moral
down to M count.
What gives you more moral credibility?
empathy.
What lets you say, well, if it's not something that you can control, right? It's not something that you can do, right? It's just what you are. How can you take credit for that?
I don't
Oh,
need
are
to
you
get
making
credit for it. It is just what I am. So in my world, because I am me, and in his world, because he is him, the evil person. In
Mhm.
my world, I have moral superiority. In his world, he has moral superiority.
Why is the evil
Well,
person
this
a
is-
he?
Well, so this is
Oh,
this is where
We'll
we
get there.
factor. Whoa,
Yeah.
doing some misandry there, Kitty. So well, this is when we factor in free will to an extent. When we talk about morality, right, usually there's an indication of choice, right? If the choice to be good isn't yours, then how can you take moral credibility for it?
can I answer that or chip in?
Yeah.
To that one. Okay. So
Yeah.
it again, like it really comes down to you're talking about because you don't feel a negative consequence to the action, like you will not feel bad for doing this. Or I used the example in the chat. If you go to a country where it's legal to have sex with children, right?
Mhm.
And so you go there to do that, you can then say, well, it's okay. I didn't get arrested for doing it. However, that you had to get up and go on a plane to go there to do something because you know it to be wrong and you just are willing to do it anyway. So there's no legal consequence to you, sure. That's true. So there's no, but that doesn't make what you did. You went there by choice, right? You got up out of your house, you went and got a plane ticket, you flew to Thailand or whatever the fuck. So that's
How'd I
an
know you
option.
were gonna
So
say Thailand?
I don't even know what countries. So that's good. Tell me whatever countries they go to fuck kids. I don't know.
I've heard. I've heard.
But I've heard rumors. But so I'm saying that like that just because, so unless you're put in a room, this is an example. If you put in a room with someone and you're said, hey, you should kill them, or you can kill them if you want to, and then you do it, then that's even some level different from, oh, I'm going to get up and I'm going to follow this person around for a couple of days and I'm going to break into their apartment when they're sleeping. And then I'm going to kill them because I'm not going to feel bad about it after. That's not why you do it, because not consequence. You do it for the reward, and you may not care about the consequence, but you did it for a reason.
And you wanted to do the bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is,
what if
and
you,
yeah,
well, what if you could have had a mechanism like empathy that would allow you to not want to do the bad thing?
Then it's actually
that would prevent, because a lot of people want to do a lot of bad things. So let me clarify a little bit more. That would prevent you from doing the bad thing, even if you want it, right?
How do you know it would prevent
some aspect that would allow you to recognize, hey, this is immoral, I shouldn't do it. Let you reflect on it, and then you grow and become better as a person.
One
What
could
if you
say
didn't have
turning
that
away from your sin.
Turning away from your sin, yeah.
I mean, yes, but the ability to differentiate with free will, like you are able to make that choice on whether you're going to kill that person or not. That psychopath. That's going back to the main example that you used.
Well, we're kind of shooting off of what Kitty was saying, was that she doesn't have necessarily any choice over the fact that she's empathy. She just has empathy, and it's the way that she is, right? And on the same foot, the psychopath doesn't have any choice over his lack of empathy.
But he still lives in society.
He
still is conscious.
He is. Mm-hmm.
He still is conscious.
But when we
So
talk
you
about
telling-
morality,
Okay,
the
so
reason I
Jeff,
asked you was, sorry.
I know what you do usually is you are you just come in and ask all the questions that make everybody uncomfortable because that's what you want to do. So what I want to ask you is what is your conception? What are you trying to get at with your questions? Are you trying to get us all the way to the bottom ground and say evil is just, it depends on who you are, and to me the Jedi are evil? Basically, is that
From
where
my
you're
point of
getting?
view.
And if
Well, I would
from
say-
your point of view, so if that is
I would
the
say,
case,
well, because I'm a pretty hardline determinist. I don't believe in free will. I don't believe evil even exists, like in reality. I don't think morality even. I'm like pretty nihilistic on a lot of that stuff. But I think it's just an interesting discussion to have. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable in any regard. That wasn't my intention.
okay, so it doesn't exist. So what do you do in your everyday life?
What do I do in my everyday life?
With having this thing that it doesn't exist, you do know there's good and bad, though. You do know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it good and bad? Where does that come from? Where's that conceptualization for you? Where does that come from?
That's where emotivism comes in.
Okay.
Where
So
a
it's
lot
just
of
how
morality
things
is
make you
an
feel.
expression. Yeah, it's just an expression of our underlying emotions. Murder is bad because I don't like murder, right?
Because you wouldn't want to get murdered.
And then moral systems are just kind of a way to map on our underlying feelings into kind of a coherent, consistent belief system.
Sure, I've heard this before. I can generally agree, but I'm definitely not a determinist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that like we can have differences of opinion on that, but I was just kind of doing a little bit of internal critique, I guess, of some of the chat or discussion that we were having so far.
So yeah. Okay. Vima?
Oh, it's just why wouldn't you go out and kill someone like a psychopath would? Like, what's stopping you? You have empathy, but that's your underlying emotions that shouldn't like be relevant at all to you, right?
Yeah, rationally speaking, no, but like I have empathy. That's what allows me to behave differently. Yeah.
And you have empathy.
I'm morally lucky, if you will.
Yeah. So if somebody who doesn't have empathy, so what do you think? What do you think we should do with people that don't have that? So the psychopaths or whatever, do they have their own society that we put them in that's away from us? They go and
Prison.
live in their, I suppose so, Bimo, yeah, that is it. They go and live in their moral world that's a place where there is no empathy.
Well, no, we would just lock them up. So like
Okay.
Sam Harris kind of makes this point in his book on free
Mhm.
will, where he says if you could lock up a hurricane, you would lock up
Mhm.
a hurricane, right, to prevent it from
Mhm.
doing societal
You'd
harm.
lock them up even if they haven't actually done any wrong action. They function in society perfectly normally. They just
If they
don't
function,
have empathy.
if they function in society perfectly normally, then there's no reason to lock them up.
Until they
But,
do something wrong.
Until or if they display or show that they are a harm to themselves or others, mostly others. But we already kind of do that with people in society. Like we already have like insane asylums, right?
Not really.
To an extent, we kind of already do that, right?
And you have to know they don't have empathy first. You have to wait for them to act to learn they don't have empathy because they don't tell people, "Hey, I don't have empathy."
Yeah.
That's
Like
just
we
so you
also
know.
can't read people's minds.
Checking in.
Yeah.
I'm glad we
Sorry,
can.
Yeah. But like, you look like you're a cute kid. You're fit. You could probably eat Taco Bell every night, right? And there'd be not a big consequence for you. But why don't you eat it every night then? Or why aren't you always eating fast food? Because you probably could get away with it. Like you wouldn't get fat from it. You're a good kid.
I
You're young.
eat a lot of junk food, but I also work out
Gallbladder.
a good amount. So
Why?
not to
Why aren't you
Right,
constantly doing it though? Like you could do it, and so because you could
'Cause
do
I-
it doesn't mean you
'cause I wanna prolong my
will
life.
do it.
because I enjoy my life and I want. to
Oh, okay.
Yeah, over time. Yeah.
So that's a long-term consequence. Not
Guys.
you would feel bad.
What is
Speaking
harm?
of long-term consequences
What is
and things,
harm?
what is harm?
What is harm? That's a good question. You could say
What
it's
even
just-
is?
God,
is-
shush.
we-
Bill
What does it
Clinton,
mean?
be quiet.
What
we can
does
just
what
do the Jordan
mean?
Peterson thing. Okay, we can just what is anything? What is blah, blah, blah.
It depends on what you mean.
Just clean your room.
I can do Jordan Peterson.
But that's a good question. Let's think on that.
What is harm?
What is harm?
Harm.
Lasting effect upon someone with intent. Or even it doesn't
Lasting
even have to
effect?
involve
Yeah, but a lasting effect could be like the lasting effect my husband has on me is very
Lasting
happiness,
negative effect?
much happiness. Yes.
Well, we could say harm kind of is a very subjective thing, but it has a lot of general meaning to it. Is kind of
Okay,
what
this
I
is where
would.
it's like the legal definition of injury is not the physical you're bleeding type. Like this is kind of how it feels like this is
Right.
going.
Yeah, basically, yeah. We would all probably agree. Like harm, generally speaking, is something that happens dissatisfactorily for another person, right?
Yeah.
But then, what is harmful to each person? That's what's the highly subjective part of harm, right?
Anyone else have
They-
questions? Or
I mean, there are different harms. There's physical harm. There's
Mhm.
mental
mental
harm. There's
harm, yeah, emotional
spiritual
harm,
harm.
yeah.
There's
it's like not ideal, not good.
Mhm. Well, I mean, you
But,
could say like
yeah.
not stubbing your toe, like that's not ideal. But would you say that's harmful to you? Maybe technically speaking. But
Yeah,
like
it's harmful.
when people
'Cause it
say
hurts.
when people say something's harmful, they usually, I think, mean like a higher threshold of bad.
Serranos.
So synonym of harm is
Yeah.
injury. So
Yeah. I love
Yes.
semantics. It's
I
a lot
know,
of
right?
What
fun.
did Cyrano
Yeah.
say? I can't see. Okay.
Mental harm is fake and gay, is what he said.
I think we've harmed Porphyrion in the chat
Why? Okay.
because he doesn't
Well-
like the argument we're having.
Oh,
He doesn't
well,
like
that's,
that we're speaking about subjective things,
Oh, well,
Which
and he
is
No.
skipped like half of the thing.
I would
As
actually
well.
say that's a straw man, sir. I don't think that's what
would
hey,
say-
Charles, look, we got a straw man.
I still don't understand it.
Yeah, okay, so if we're going into we're going into how we brought this up earlier, that you could harm a kid by scolding them or whatever.
But do you do
but it's
call-ins?
called- No, you know what? Let me think. No, I don't. I know Jad I literally made sure that Jab,
Jab
is
does
a
call-ins.
special case. Okay.
Jab's an
It's a special-
OT.
If
I'm
you-
a D, okay. I'm a day oneer, okay. I get
yeah.
special treatment. Yeah.
Yeah. Call-ins, I don't know
That
if
night I
we're
had to
we're
disprove
spicy
that
enough
I'm
for
ugly.
call-ins.
So
Yeah. He has been ugly.
Boy.
Is there like
I'm
an
like
extreme
ugly.
version
What
of
did I do
ugly?
that's
Because
ugly?
if he is like if he's the baseline ugly, like
Yeah.
what does that mean? Does that mean that there's like an evil version of ugly that's even worse than his extreme? Like there's an extreme of his ugly? I don't know. Anyways, we were having
I don't think I
the
can beat
conversation
someone
of what
to
is
death
harm.
with this.
You can definitely try.
I mean, the stick.
Your
yes,
intent is what
eventually.
matters here.
Yeah, how much longer are we gonna go? Because I want everybody to draw.
What?
I
I don't
I got
know.
all night.
Okay. I think
Attaboy.
this whole thing
Four.
started with the question about evil. I don't think we got to an actual like idea. Like I tried multiple times. Great, Crispy. You don't think it might not. You think it might not exist. So
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
I was
agnostic.
trying my best to
Contrarian.
see about if I
Such a
could
fucking
try and get
contrarian.
you to I was trying to
Find
see
the
if I
thing that
could
I'm not sure
build
if
a
it
bridge.
exists.
No, more specifically, build a bridge so we can try and find an agreed on definition. Didn't seem like we found it, but I mean, evil in the colloquial synonymous sense. You agree that is a thing, right? That is something
Use the
because I can
parlance of
agree
our
with
time. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say like there's evil if we're talking colloquially, but I don't know that the concept of evil actually exists. That it's this thing that is devoid of good.
Well,
I don't know. I sorry, go right ahead, Charles.
No, how else would you describe it then? If you're not going by colloquialism.
That's the only way that
euphemism.
I have to describe it. Is I've
Right.
been told it's the opposite of the lack of good, and then I've also been told it is the opposite of God. So I don't know. Coming at it from kind of a secular perspective, I'm a little confused as to what it would be.
I think Keith's
Because
trying
there's
to
a lot
get
of
us-
things that I wouldn't consider good that I'm told are the pinnacle of good and the definition of good, and the opposite of that is evil. So I don't know. It just gets me a little confused in the end. Of course, I think that there's really abhorrent acts. I think there is cruelty all throughout nature, but I don't know. Once you start saying like it is just morality, I don't know that animals don't have a certain sense of morality. So I don't know. That's why I'm asking for everybody else's definition of it to see if there is some middle ground. But I don't seem to be getting a lot of definition. There's a lot of really bad shit that I'd agree is really bad. It's horrendous. It's cruel.
No pawing chat. Okay, so listen. So I'm getting the reason I'm waving things around is because I want us to get to Dorcas's earlier question about if evil doesn't exist, why do we enjoy stories, right? So that kind of makes. I just want to bring us onto the idea of, say, a Sauron and a whatever, where it's just evil embodied. I feel like that could help us understand what you mean by not believing in evil itself.
I think part of it is one way or another, because the world isn't just and storytelling is, you can either look to a story to have evil won over on, or live vicariously through evil if there's this moral gray area that, like, oh, I would love to know what would happen if I did something like vigilante justice. So I'll go and watch Dexter, and I don't have to commit the act. I'll root for Dexter and whatever.
You have to read this super chat.
Straw men are good because they prevent murder. If I only had a brain or heart. Wait, I have the wrong one.
Brain.
Yeah, heart. Is it?
The straw man required a brain. The tin man required a
I had them
heart.
both wrong.
The lion ate a baby.
Okay, so
just get some more courage. You'll be all right.
so we use that. The answer there is yeah. So we use stories to have experiences. I think that is why we are. But stories in which we have this embodiment of evil. So when we go to Darth Vader, it's actually he's not an embodiment of evil. He's just a bad guy. Okay.
Palpatine.
So if we have
We have
like,
Palpatine.
yeah, okay.
Is the
he?
Palp misunderstood?
Yes.
No, he was actually right all along. That's the whole thing.
So I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to use that as, is that what you mean, Gray? Is that there is no force? It's just how bad something is.
Yeah, I mean, so that I would definitely say, like, there is a spectrum of, really bad things for sure, but the way that it keeps getting described to me is like a force, or it is this absence of what is good. To me, I'm not really seeing anything that counts for that. That's why I was kind of asking for examples and kind of throwing some examples out there. So is this evil? So would this be not evil? Like, somebody who intends to kill children, of course, like we would colloquially call that evil. What about, somebody who accidentally leaves their kid in the car? Like, that's horrendous, but I don't think any of us have called that person evil. I don't know. I'm not sure where that line is.
We
And
spoke
also
about
when we-
intent there. That's
Mhm.
where it seems
So
like
the line is just
difference.
intent?
Well,
Because
it's intent and
is
knowledge.
the
Yeah.
intent of, so like I'm thinking of like a lot of these more famous cases of like
Yeah.
the mother who drives her kids into the lake. Her intent is to save the children because of some delusional thing of so I'm kind of conflating a bunch of them, but like that Lori Daybell thing, she thought her kids were possessed, so she thought that she was
Mhm.
saving them by somehow taking them out or whatever. I don't know. Like, they do have an intent of doing something good, but it's a very horrible act. How are you doing that? And also, she doesn't seem to be in her right state of mind, which intent, some sort of consent, and some sort of acknowledgement of what they're doing seem to be the criteria. So, like, would
Mhm.
this not count as evil, even though we would say this is a horrendous, horrible act?
I would
Right.
still say it's an evil act.
Yeah.
We went from
So then what is
Vader
the
to talking about
distinction?
real people.
I know. So that's the thing. I don't think Vader is evil. If you're going to talk about Palpatine, he seems to be the embodiment of evil. He seems to be love what is dark, and
Well,
he's
that's kind
looking
of
for
a-
somebody to become the next Sith thing. But there, you literally have these two opposed forces. You have the light side and the dark side. Like
Only a
it
Sith
is this
deals in
storytelling
absolutes.
thing of
No.
yeah, exactly.
Darth Vader is kind of
Yeah.
an interesting character to raise because that kind of goes into the redeemable aspect of evil. Is evil irredeemable?
Mhm.
Is it
Sorry, I'm out of sick.
is it beyond redemption?
That's a fun question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think, with advances in science, I think there's a lot of things that, we at one point would have said these people are beyond redemption, and there's ways to kind of help people see what reality is. I'm not sure that they would be irredeemable. Like our whole system is kind of set up for
Mhm.
a form of rehabilitation. I'm not sure that it's successful. However, we would have to kind of decide, that isn't a possibility and then restructure everything.
Mhm.
I think we have built into our society, there is this kind of redemption thing. You can pay your debt.
I would argue, I think what's kind of interesting is, I think if we were to match evil onto really immoral, hence a bad decision that you made of your own free will, your own volition, I think Palpatine wouldn't actually fit into the category of evil. Darth Vader would fit into the category of evil because of the
Why
fact that
wouldn't he?
the fact that Darth Vader has some level of redemption means that there's an aspect of empathy there to him that makes him human, right? So
But
that,
what if Palpatine
functional-
coerced him via the dark side?
yeah, well then
Space magic.
he still has the fact that he is redeemable, like he is able to change his behavior to make different decisions, right? The fact that that exists means that he's evil, right? Because he could choose to do something else, but he chooses to do these really heinous acts like committing genocide, right?
Yeah, literally being Space
Well,
Hitler.
Yeah,
But I mean, couldn't you just argue that Palpatine was seduced, a very human thing, to the dark side, and this power that, very much power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It seemed like it was this yearning for power, this seduction that drew him in.
Well,
Those seem like very human traits.
Well,
So
I
I
don't
don't know that the
necessarily know,
humanity
like-
is gone.
I don't necessarily know like all of Palpatine's upbringing, but assuming he's like a psychopath, which I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest that he probably is in the Star Wars universe.
Politically
right?
motivated from day one.
Yep. But assuming he is a psychopath, right? We know Anakin Skywalker wasn't. He had people that he cared about beyond just himself, right? So he was capable of empathy, right? So people who can choose to do differently or who can modify their behavior, those people are truly only capable of evil, right? Not a psychopath. I think it's just kind of an interesting thought.
Interesting. I didn't hear it, but I'm sure it is.
Vader's not redeemable. I don't believe.
Oh,
Not redeemable?
Vader's redeemable?
Nah.
So you'd
The
say
young ones?
saving Luke in the galaxy at the end of Empire isn't redemption?
Yeah, I mean, at that point he's an old man with nothing left to lose. So it was a last final act of redemption, like an asshole who killed millions of people on his deathbed saying, "I repent." No, he was old, he was dying, he was done already, and at the end of his life, he doesn't want to kill his one kid. That's not redemption. That's just like
Deathbed confession.
basically like
It's in the rules.
You know, Darth Vader's 45 when he dies, right?
But
In the movie.
what if?
Yeah, he's
what if-
old.
no, I don't.
What-
He looks older than that.
What if Palpatine?
Rough life.
Well, the gap between episode 3 and 4 is 20 years, and he's in his like early 20s.
What if
Yeah, you have the
Palpatine,
rough
if he
life.
wasn't thrown over, would have killed 15 trillion more people, but Vader prevented that by throwing him into the long pit?
Doesn't redeem him. That's not
Long
why he
pit.
did it.
I like that name.
That's
it's
not why he
right.
did it.
Well, he did it.
This
Well, he
is
did
my
it to
one
save his
chance.
son,
It's
right?
like, no,
Well, he did
no,
it to
you've
save
done
his
all this
son,
stuff.
right?
Forget it. Yeah,
And
I
go
saved
back
his
to the,
son
to the
ish.
bright side, the light side, right?
Ish. His son, who he was just trying to kill, who didn't kill him. He's like, okay, now I guess
Okay.
with these
But
options
Zaxx.
on the table, knowing the Emperor's going to kill me now for not killing him, I guess now I'm a good guy.
But
I'm redeemed. No,
Zaxx, we know that
And
he
studying
actually
Vader.
meant it when he was redeemed because he turned into a Force ghost.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
right.
Boom.
No,
All
so
the
the
evidence
force,
right
the
there.
force
Bam.
forgave
Yeah.
him.
Lord
That's what I
Atkinson,
said.
Helmet
good job,
on.
Bimo.
Forgiveness is for God.
His helmet.
Yeah, they
because-
call you Bimo Smart for a reason, right?
Let me look at you.
It's
with
a
my
He calls
technicality.
Bimo's art, not Bimo's
Charles.
smart. I'm dumb as fuck.
Oh,
You're
Makes
right.
the
Nobody calls him
important
that.
point.
oh shit. Okay, I'm sorry.
What did I do?
when he
This
I
is such a
just
busy
made the
call.
best
I'm going to
point.
shut up.
The remo-
The removal of
I
his
can't
mask.
forgive the younglings.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that. He did that because he wanted to kill those
Of
kids.
course he wanted
He
to
had
kill
nothing
those
to
kids.
do with I'm gonna save my wife from something that hasn't happened yet, that she could die someday. Fuck off with that. You want to kill those kids.
Skywalker.
That's a terrible reason.
This guy. This
That's
fucking
amazing.
guy.
This
What's
fucking
they going to
guy.
He's
do?
also saving her from sand.
Yeah, he's saving her for
Yeah.
something that has not happened. Well, she's not sick right now, but she could get sick later. Okay, I guess I'll murder these children. No, it's not. That's not a reason. It's not reasonable. He wanted to do it. He enjoyed it. He didn't have to do it himself. You could have had like his minions do it for him, but no, he wanted to kill them one by one by himself with his lightsaber while they begged for mercy. That is
Wait,
not a
minions?
guy who gets redeemed for one act of good at the end
I
of
have
his
a
life.
question,
No,
Zaxx.
done.
I have a question. What about
Done.
the Nazi soldiers that were just following orders?
Oh, back to
Fuck
real
off.
life.
You mean like a Wehrmacht? or
Okay, what about the
actual, like,
Imperial troopers
SS?
who were just
Wehrmacht.
following orders?
There you go.
We
Yeah.
don't know because we don't know who those soldiers voted for. So they might not be Nazis,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
He won with a very narrow margin. So,
But
it
no,
could've been
wait,
Wehrmacht.
Zaxx. What if they voted for it and then they were like, I didn't vote for this, pow pow. Like, like they
Oh.
have to do the thing. So they're like, I didn't vote for this, but I still have to do it.
I voted Jar Jar.
We actually watched a movie last night, my baby. What was it called? The Kill Squad. The Kill
Nice.
Team.
That sounds fun.
And it was about this squad or whatever in Afghanistan.
College.
What? The damn empire. What is what the heck is pow pow?
Brr-pa.
Listen, they don't
Brr-pa.
pa. Okay, so but
Do it
listen,
again.
so
Kill the Jedi. Brr-pa.
I require super chats for Burpa, and Bimo did a very nice one there. So there you go, you guys got that one for free. So the Kill Squad, what actually happened? This was Charles, it's based on real true life events, but the Kill
Charles hates
whatever
real
they
life.
were they were in Afghanistan, and basically they were killing civilians and then making up stories for why they killed them. They'll be like, oh, okay, he was going to throw a grenade at me or whatever. And they were just making up excuses. And at one point there is a junior sort of officer guy who is like, I can't do this, I can't be part of this. And then eventually he is forced through the whole squad to kill a man. Both of them shoot the same guy, but the thing is he is forced to it. And eventually he is the
Yeah, you're interrupted. You have to read it and do the sound.
Do it in Hydra's voice.
Burpa, make noises for this pittance.
That's lame.
Burpa. There you go.
That's better.
Yeah, Hydra rolls is ours. Come on.
You sounded so fucking white when you did that. That was
What?
wild.
When I said burpa, I can be proper white. That's how I speak
Hey,
Italian
Kitty,
as well.
you're white.
Mhm.
She's an
Anyway,
honorary
so
white.
this guy did land up killing people, and then eventually, he's gonna commit suicide. Spoilers. And he doesn't. He actually faces the might of the law. Is he redeemed? He killed this person, and then he actually testified. He was the only one who testified against the rest of the squad of what happened. He
Might of the
implicated
Law would
himself.
be a
Yeah.
great band name. Continue.
So he became a rat.
Creamage has decided that everybody has to burpa. Everyone on the panel has to burpa, and I think it's right.
Brrrpa.
Whoa, we got one there.
Do it
There
with
we
something
go.
in your mouth, Jab.
What was that, Jack?
What? I wasn't.
He went burpa.
What? I went. Ha.
Got food in his mouth.
Zaxxy?
Bear paw.
Bear paw. There you go.
That's a cop out. No, that doesn't count.
That's Canadian. I'm allowed to do that.
Bear
Oh.
paw, eh?
Yeah, never mind. I forgot.
Bear paw, eh?
You're allowed to be retarded. My bad.
No, you can't do it.
And you can't
Nobody
be
can do
racist.
a bear paw. Yeah, you can't do both of them.
We have
Oh,
superpowers.
no burring pie. No, not burping is evil. We've decided the social
That's right,
construction
Bobo.
is that burpa is evil.
I thought the same thing, darling. I feel you. I feel you.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you did.
I was like, why? He's going to commit
That
suicide.
needs to be clipped. It needs to be clipped.
Oh.
Anyway,
Okay, wait. I'll put a marker for that.
I put it in the chat. I kind
Guys-
of ran out of time.
Okay, well, are we running out of time for drawing, guys? Guess what? We didn't solve evil.
Darn.
Oh no.
Well, it's.
No.
You think
I
it'd be
just
pretty
learned
easy,
that
right?
Jab is wrong about everything.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Got like
Yeah.
12 seconds of Jedi talk.
And we didn't
Sure.
even
Yeah, that
ask the
makes it all
most
worth it, right?
important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go
We
ahead,
didn't
Dorkus.
even ask the most important question about evil that I had asked in the Discord.
Was that Optimus?
Ah,
You-
gosh, let me find.
Yeah,
What?
go and find it.
Oh.
Okay.
We
One
We
sec,
left the
set
best
up,
one for last.
Yeah,
You should have
set
to
up
find it.
the.
It's the best question.
Mm,
I want to get the. Does the panel have any advice
See a
for a
shield wall?
henchman looking? See a shield
Shield
wall?
wall.
Does the panel have any advice for a henchman looking to get into the evil business with a goal of being promoted to lackey or sidekick?
Keep that in mind.
Apply-
Lackey or
apply
sidekick.
Like you.
Apply at your local municipality.
That works. I think that really does work.
Fill the form out. Pay the $75 for certification.
Yeah.
The Nazi question. I have a fun story to tell you guys. And
Oh
it's
my
about
God.
Canadian soldiers and how we
Evil
are.
is
I'm worried what's going to come after that.
They're
sentence.
just saying apply for the job, Dorkus. But yes, yeah, Zaxx.
We are like Canada is known for a few things: our friendly
Evil.
nature and war crimes. We are some of the worst war criminals ever in the First World Wars, both of them. And we blame the Brits because they sent us first. You guys have to go over the hill first all the time. So when we get there, we're pissed off and we're not taking prisoners. But there's a story. There was the Christmas truce in 1914. You've heard of that, I'm assuming. Okay.
Mhm.
So 1915, the Canadians enter the theater of war, and they're doing the exchange with the Germans, and they're throwing tins of corned beef into the Germans' trench, and they're throwing stuff back, and it's all going good. And so they ask for more, and so the Canadians throw grenades instead of corned beef into the German trenches and blow them up. Like, they ruined Christmas for everyone, and they didn't. So is that evil or is that hilarious? Is it a good
Yes.
prank?
Funny.
I don't know that it has to be exclusive, but
Yeah, they don't have to be exclusive.
it doesn't sound like a good act.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
funny because it's far away and very far removed from us, and it's not like grandpa who landed up, you know. So
Apologize first.
Dildy's comment though, they said sorry while doing it.
Or-
Yes.
sorry.
Well, they lobbed it in. Yeah.
Oops.
No more
Oh.
Christmas truce.
Jeez. Well, we're gonna have fun with. I can't wait for what's the name? I was gonna say sentient phone. Today I'm not okay. I called
Pardon?
Charles Chris.
What?
It's
Yeah.
He
Will.
usually gets called
I
Will,
don't even
so it's
know
a step up.
Chris, really. Like who is?
Well,
a
it's the
Chris? I
first
don't
two
know.
letters at least.
Change of pace.
Like,
There's a Congo
You know?
Chris that is very
Chris
active in your
Stapleton.
chats.
well, yeah, we know that,
I'm
Chris.
talking about like literally a face that I know.
We're talking about a Chris that people like.
Oh, Stapleton.
Got it. We're
Um,
playing Charles' phone then.
We're
Chris
playing
phone.
Charles' phone now. Yes. Are we ready for Charles' phone?
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
everybody
Let's
make
get Charles'
your final statements about evil in the garlic phone. Okay.
Deal.
In
Okay.
garlic
All right.
phone.
I cannot stay for Garlic Phone. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You're
Okay.
fucking
That is evil.
leaving
I'm
us?
sorry.
You're an
You're
artist. It's
First
in
my
your
dad
name.
to get
It's
the milk, and Now
BMO.
you're gone. Jesus.
Wow.
Everyone's
Jab,
leaving.
Jab, I am your replacement. You've got to be a better artist than me.
Shit.
Mhm.
I
Well,
is
somebody's
that
gotta share their
allowed to
screen,
make you
'cause-
proud, father.
All right, so it sounds like Zaxx gets to share his screen.
Somebody's got to share their screen because
Oh.
I'm using my iPad.
Well,
my
Kitty, you
my
can do it.
laptop is shit and is gonna crash out if I try and share my screen. So
Do we
Come on,
exclusively
Kitty.
need to go to Garlic Phone if BMO's leaving us anyway?
Wow.
You don't want to do a garlic phone after the evil thing?
What I'm
You know,
saying,
BMO
BMO, is your artistic legend is hard to replace anyway. So
We've got.
no, that's,
Yeah.
Bimo, that's not really what Charles is saying. He's saying
You
that
shush.
you take up so much speaking time that like you leaving will like
I know, right?
clear up
There
so
will be a
much
lot of
space for all of us
space.
to yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I
Well,
don't
Bimo,
really
what are
have
you
anything
doing
to
on your
plug.
channel? Outro yourself. Here you go.
It's Saturday. We're playing more Expedition 33. And then 4th of July weekend, I'm going to be putting the spiciest lollipop in the world in my mouth. And that's going to be
Your mouth,
very spicy. Yes, even
Speaking
though
of
it looks
evil.
like a butt plug, it's not going in there.
your butt mouth.
Will there be an illustration
Email
for
copy
this?
now.
Email.
How
Yes,
would we know
I am
that's actually happening?
changing. I'm changing up my PNGs to show the levels of spicy and suffering I'm going through, as other people will be on the panel talking. I have
Oh, yeah.
invited all of you
Spicy is
thinkers, but none
subjective.
of you, except for Dorkus, said anything.
Wait,
I didn't
camera
know.
didn't happen. Camera didn't happen.
Hmm.
Camera, it didn't happen.
Okay,
Hell
you're gonna
no.
have to send us a picture of it as well, and like with the date, you know, like written and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, like people do.
It's literally sitting next to me.
Yeah, but we got to show that it's there, it's open, and you know, and then
used.
that it's wet.
I'll do it
and,
before and after. You'll see the milk jugs next to it.
Okay.
I-
Yeah, this
It's
the
my
YouTuber
math
stuff is
scam.
difficult.
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
Let's
It's
do
just a normal red lollipop.
Yeah.
He's sitting there. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
sweet. Good lord. Oh, okay. How much was it,
Cremage?
Bimo?
You gotta ask Squiddy because he's the one that got it for me.
Oh.
Is Squiddy an IRL friend?
Yes, he is an
Ah.
IRL friend of mine and probably one of the best dungeon masters I've ever met.
Ooh.
Is that like code for something?
Wow.
Yes, he's
In
very
front
good
of
at tech.
Dorkus.
Dice.
That's cool though.
Anyway,
Well,
Great deals are hard
cool.
to
Well,
Thanks, Brett.
looking out for that. The fireworks in Bimo's mouth.
yes.
Oh. Now I'm there.
4th of July.
Explosions of flavor.
Yes.
Anyway, you guys have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
Toodles, BMO.
We'll see you later.
Have a good one.
Gray is all ready to draw and stuff. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Should we do I'm
Let's-
okay
we're doing
with
garlic
either
phone.
way. Who wants to do it?
Let's do garlic phone.
Do it.
But
Charles.
evil's a construct.
Let's go.
Garlic. Okay.
I
Ooh.
hate this game, by the way.
I'll be on.
Yes, we all kind of do.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get a link.
Remember, hate leads to the dark side, Zaxx.
Oh,
Objective.
are you- Beemo, please can you Beam Evil?
Yeah.
Please can you be the one that shares his screen? Producer Dorkus, I'm making this a requirement.
Okay. Okay, I will share screen. This means I have to set
Make
it
the
up?
link. Yeah.
Yeah,
Please send it
sure.
also to the Discord because I'm gonna be using my iPad, so I need the link
Do I
on
have
my iPad.
time to recycle fluids?
Go, yeah.
Yes.
No.
Why
you
not?
can't use the bathroom while you're
Yeah,
here.
go.
God damn it.
No, that wasn't what I was talking about.
Just ruining our stream by
Guys,
going to the
in-
bathroom.
please do be ready to join in. I'm
Alright,
taking Bemo's cue. I'm not doing it. Guys, blame Jab if you don't enjoy this garlic phone, which is just silly thing to say.
In the private chat.
In the private chat,
Thinkers
people.
planning chat.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys share it anywhere else you want.
Oh fuck! I don't have my Discord here. Please tell me I'm now. I forgot how to use my. Oh, there it is. Please don't make me re-sign in. Oh, good. I'm good.
Nice.
Do. Oh, I've got a stupid ad. Oopsie. Oh my goodness. How do I skip you, dude? Oh, there you go.
Later, dildo. Have a good one.
Dildy!
Yes,
Bye!
Buzz.
Oh, thank you. You're not being creepy. You're just complimenting me, and I like that. Thank you very much. I did this on purpose, even. So thanks. Thanks for noticing. I feel validated.
Seen? You feel seen?
Yeah. So we don't have an artist Gray right now. We have a
Are we
I
sharing
thought
it?
I could hang out with Zaxx. It made me feel like a little bit closer to Zaxx with his current avatar.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so yes, share it in the. Oh, I can as well. Share it in the chat. In the
Okay.
chat.
And I think we need to fill a little bit of time for Charles to join us. We'll get a chuckle out eventually. Oh no.
Yeeter boner eater?
Boner eater.
I barely knew her. I don't know. Bimo apologizes for having to go. We are not sure if we are ready for him to be redeemed. What the fuck happened to my tab, bro?
I was gonna say, I think you're gone now.
Yeah, what the fuck? Excuse me.
Kitten,
No, it's gonna make me. No, it's gonna make me watch a freaking ad again.
Hey, we've got a Charles.
We do. Charles present.
Elio, guys. Let's watch Elio.
And Wade.
Nah, no one is. That's not happening.
I'm
Since
an
you're
alien.
Nice.
Yeah.
Since you're making me share, I get to be the one to decide that we play knockoff today.
Okay.
What?
Which one is this
Okay.
now?
Maybe
I don't know.
maybe Zaxx will like this more.
Maybe. What is it?
What are we
Knockoff.
playing?
Oh, okay.
Yeeter bone reader.
Okay, let's go.
That's right.
Evil incarnate. Is that you, Dorkus?
No, I'm me.
Okay.
All
For this
right.
one.
We got
To let you guys.
9. We could get one more. Double
Yeah.
digits. Come on, someone out there wants to play. Join.
Any last person?
One more.
As Palpatine says.
We are waiting. Do it.
Do it.
I wish I could play, but I'm on mobile. Oh,
Hey,
we got one.
Have you even moved your
Babylon.
body in the past hour? Do so, please.
Hell yeah, Bambillion.
Do so, please. Okay, I'll do it.
Where?
I don't know what we're doing. What am I drawing?
Draw.
You draw a thing, and you've got all of your time. But keep in
Oh,
mind,
we've got it.
you've got a lot of time, and then somebody has to copy this drawing. So you could be nice to people if you want to be. It's up to you.
Yeah, but it gives you. It's evil in that it gives you more time.
Oh, it's a lot of time now, and it gets very less time.
So try not to do something too complex, or do something complex, and see what it becomes. I don't know what this means about my current state of consciousness, but I'm just drawing.
And that's about a fifth of your time.
Hey,
So, you got a lot of time.
Jeez.
Keep adding to it and such.
Oh! Oopsie. Sorry. I know that was close to the microphone.
You got time. That's just under a quarter of your time. To make it all fancy like, you've got 3 more times this time.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Whoopsie, poopsie.
Wow, I am really sad at how bad I am at drawing. Jesus.
Well, you got 2/3 of your time remaining to make it pretty. You got this.
Oh, you know
see.
what?
We'll
Speaking of pretty, how much? Here we
How was
go.
Dorkus?
Oh, for 5, 6.
indeed.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
7, 8. Oh, that looks cool. No. No, there. Pew, 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 pew.
And that's about half your time. So,
I think
yeah.
mine's gonna make it through.
nice.
I have hope.
I don't have much hope for mine.
Mine's a little bit
Problematic.
problematic.
Daisy, are you evil?
Of
Evil
course.
do?
Yeah.
See, evil girl. We just let her get away with it because she little. How are the kittens, Zaxx?
Good. They had their surgeries this week.
Yay,
So
they're
they're-
fixed.
They're fixed and they're recovering now.
Good.
But they're good. Yeah, they're getting along with my dog now too. Like it's
I saw.
one big happy family now.
I'm a little long after
Well,
to draw.
Yeah,
Well, you've got 1/3 of your time remaining. So add those final touches.
oh, fine.
Oh, I'm pretty happy with mine. Mine's kind of a masterpiece.
Well, then you can hit that done button.
I suppose I'm gonna. You know what? I'll add some stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna use that extra time. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, you know,
I hope people just remember the colors involved.
Colors.
Wait,
Hmm.
there are colors. Whoa.
Oh fuck! Although
Right, you're-
that actually looked cool. That actually looked really cool. I'm gonna keep it that way. That was a happy accident.
Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Well, you got about 10 seconds left. So, any final touches? You want to trick it out? You can do that, Charles. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, what the fuck?
Well, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's like 2 minutes left. I don't know. The thing rang. What's
10
going on?
seconds to the 4th power.
Well, it rang. Like, how long did you think it was giving us when it rang?
Yeah, usually when it rings,
Listen,
it's like
Ray, don't
2
blame us
seconds
for
left.
your lack of time perception, okay?
Gardic is evil.
I had one job and I failed at it immensely. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that makes you evil.
Where's the silent button?
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So
Got it.
remember the drawing that you see in front of you,
Oh no.
and then once you hit
It's
draw,
the
you'll
long-
never see
yeah.
it again.
Yeah, and your time has already started when you look at it.
Uh-huh. That's about a fifth of your time right there.
I don't remember.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
yeah,
this.
my
score.
brain sucks.
Forgot. Fuck. I already forgot mine.
No.
I like mine. Mine was it was creative enough, so you kind of you get it.
I'm doing a hecking disservice.
I'm doing a disservice too.
Damn it! All the heck.
Just because I like it doesn't mean I did well. Oh,
And I'm
mamma
just-
mia.
I'm just creating shit now. No.
Well, you've got 2/3 of your time remaining to create that shit,
Oh,
Charles.
mamma mia.
No, I forgot everything.
You got this. Early
This is why I
steps.
failed the police test.
Remember its tail? There was that one thing.
Tick-a-tick.
My apologies to whoever I've destroyed.
Come on, you got half your time remaining. You can
It doesn't
undestroy
matter.
this. You can fix it.
It would be Charles propaganda at this point because my mind is just. Where is my mind?
Ah,
Mhm.
yeah, I was kind of going there too. You're just with the music references today, sir.
Just my feet in the air and my head on the ground. Try this trick, then spin it.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a mad in the chat.
Skirt. What's Gucci Ninjas? Hi there. Maybe.
That means
Sorry.
16 minutes are left.
Yeah, I think that means you got a 5-minute warning. I'm not sure at this point, but you know,
Maybe-
sometime in the near future we're done.
Yep, but don't.
Yay, Charles, I love it. Oh, fuck.
You got 10 seconds remaining, so hopefully you can fix it.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh.
No, there were things,
Oh.
and now there's not things, and now I don't know what that was. How do I? Can I replay that thing?
Yeah, I think if you click on it again.
It does. Thank you. Okay.
how do you replay it?
If you click it again, it replays it. Okay, and that was a quarter of your time. So draw fast.
Trophies. Okay. I need to know what you're eating, Jab.
Oh, this is popcorn
Waffles.
A what?
Nice.
and cum.
That's quite a combo.
Pretty
Sounds
good.
like girl breakfast.
Girl breakfast.
Crusty though.
I'm shaking. Oh no. Oh no. Look out.
Yo, this is faster.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
goes
don't know.
way-
I'm
This is a
sorry,
travesty.
whoever got this.
No, this
This is
isn't
not good.
animation mode. This is basically that the thing that happens is you're supposed to copy each other's drawings, and because the timer gets faster and faster, the drawings just
Whoa.
degrade.
Oh, come on.
I can
man.
do that. I got this one. This one's in the bag. Yeah. Okay,
said
that's a fifth
before.
of your time.
It's like a little memory game.
I have the worst
Which-
memory in history.
Same.
Not true. I remember there was someone. I forget.
I need to
Yo, the
challenge.
clock's just the acceleration is just
Hey, you
bullshit.
got half your time remaining.
Holy
I
Yeah,
think this is
bro.
what I saw.
fuck.
I mean, you technically could use a screenshot and cheat, but don't do that.
Oh, that sounds like cheating.
Come on.
good
Be a
idea.
cheater.
That's evil.
Using a drawing pad is cheating.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Using
I'll agree with
a
that.
pencil is also
Ipid.
bad.
Ipid. What the?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that is so awesome. Who did this? Whoever did this is amazing. That's a quarter of your time.
Jeez.
Was there one down here?
And
Yeah,
that's
this
half
looks-
your time.
Oh wow, I lost it. I lost it.
It was supposed. No, I made it look worse now.
It was supposed to not be like this.
This isn't the way it's supposed to happen.
There's something here. I'm just gonna put a line here because I don't know what it was. There was something there.
No. What?
No.
What? What has happened?
Okay, I can draw that.
Um,
It's not going to be good, but I can
okay.
draw it. That's a quarter of your time. That's a third of your time.
No eidetic memory people allowed here, huh?
That's
No.
about half
Or
your
actually, no, that would be pretty cool.
No.
No, man.
Not chill. No, this
No,
is too
shit!
fast. This is dumb shit.
No.
Your time's almost up.
What the?
I
Okay.
told you. I warned you.
Oh,
And
This
that's a third of your
looks-
time.
Not like the thing that was drawn, but
That's half your time.
oh, fuck's sake. I think. Now
And
I've
you got
done.
a third of your
bits-
time remaining.
Oh.
this is
Yeah, okay.
degrading quickly.
Sorry about the double bell if you're hearing it.
Damn it.
I like this. I can do this. There we
I don't know
go.
why. But okay, that's half your time. Yes.
Yay, I did it. Thank you, person before me.
Attempted. So yeah, your time's almost up. But hey, there's 2 more rounds. So it'll go even faster. And that's a quarter of your time.
No, fuck. Oh shit, I'm
I know, right?
Okay.
Someone's the
Uh,
star of these.
Screen
That's what I'll
close
say.
up.
There we go.
The theme of the drawing is. Whoa!
Oh,
Oh,
I love this
yeah.
one so much. Whoever did this is amazing.
Thank
Oh,
you.
shit, I
You're
forgot.
welcome.
I got too excited about remembering one bit of it that I didn't. I forgot the rest. Shit.
I only remember the offensive parts.
My anxiety. We're all good here. It's fine.
Your time's almost up.
I'm
What's the last
remembering
round?
the fact that I said
Yay,
goodbye
wow.
to my husband.
Just
And-
wow.
Okay, I'll need to turn off my.
Yeah.
Right, so we're gonna have manual, so that we have a bit more speed. I mean, not speed. We can take our time.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more?
No.
Well, you
No,
gotta
it's just-
see what others did now.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not scuffed. It's fun. Okay, so
Oh.
you.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay. So Mialatov, but there's gaming. I
No,
think.
it's
And then there's me.
Darth Kitten. As best
Oh,
I
no.
could.
Oh, there's a
Not
lightsaber now.
The
Okay, no, the
decolorized
lightsaber was
version.
there, but it's in the different. That's actually more accurate because I am left-handed. I would probably have it.
And
in
now
my
we've got a
left
Kylo Ren
Oh.
one.
We
too.
have the
Nice.
Mandela effect
Yeah.
here now.
hand.
Kylo lightsaber.
Now it's crossed.
Now it's
No.
crossed.
And you're burning what appears to be a church.
Oh no! What the hell happened there?
Okay, there's still the color.
Ah,
It turned into
What
a
is that?
dog.
the windows.
Supposed to
Meow.
say meow. I ran out of time.
Meow.
Ironically,
Okay.
timekeeper.
Meow.
Meal.
We're taking liberties with the windows.
Yeah.
Some avant-garde.
Doesn't have to spend that much time on the windows.
Meow.
Mew. So we don't even have windows.
Meow.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
No Mew. We didn't have time.
I mean, it kind of stayed throughout, though.
I gave it a nose.
We have a kid on all of these.
Yay! Yeah, you see? I had the screen off screen, so it's all a mystery to me. That's great. Now you don't know what's coming. Yeah.
This is
I
the
think
stages
that's
of
great.
Alzheimer's. That's what that is.
That is horrible. It's pretty scary. Oh, okay.
American
I know where
Snowman.
they're going.
That's an American snowman. I thought it was pretty obvious.
Oh, I'm saluting. you
Wow. Very well done.
That is really good, Creamage.
Hey, nice.
Pi r
Even
squared.
Carnage got it.
RMC too.
Whoa. I like it.
This was not even together.
I got this lost.
Oh
I
no!
don't know
Oh.
why. I don't know why I didn't.
Suddenly
Why
you
did my
became
brain-
bulimic.
Why did
I
my brain
remembered
put the
lines and
alt-
balls.
Why?
Lines and balls.
My college nights.
Dorkus gets it.
Why did you add?
Just doing lines and balls.
Lines and balls. Good.
It melted. At least it became less violent as it went on.
True.
It got hot, so it started
I
to melt.
must have had a stroke again, Creamage, because why the fuck did the lines go to one side?
Oh, wow!
There's
Gray
a
and I
whole
had a very
story
similar
going on
theme
here,
there.
Gray.
Yeah.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh, color changed.
Perfect.
Oh. But it's
the
evil
black trope
incarnate.
again.
Oh.
I mean, so far so good.
The knife.
No.
Oh.
Oh no!
Wade is on mobile, I think.
Still like it.
All right, now we need
Ooh.
circles.
Oh, now it's like an act. It's awesome.
I like
Oh,
how
no.
it perpetually becomes
What
the
is
old
Gray?
line.
Dorkus keeps putting Gray in.
Beard.
Dorcas
Ah,
wants Gray to be
He
Waldo in this.
disappeared.
Where's Grado?
Oh.
Like how abstract that is, though.
Mhm. It's still a murder, guys.
I
It
like
says
how
something about your
as it
childhood.
goes
depend-
along,
depend-
it
Now it's
becomes-
art.
Art.
It is.
Indeed.
Yeah, there you go.
Why? I think I've got a problem.
Undisputed.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what?
there-
It went
there
from
you go.
round. It went from round to rather rectangular. Interesting.
True.
It is
Perception.
interesting.
Subjective. Oh no! I
That's
broke this.
Pikachu.
I broke it.
I
Pikachu.
tried doing Pikachu. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
you didn't
bad.
break it. You fixed it.
It's. Well, all right.
Oh,
That's
hey, that's what it was.
It looks so much closer to the first one.
Whoops! Oh, now it's just like balls, just random balls. Yeah.
Oh, I
Hey,
remember this
we
one
got
now.
orange back. I mean, a yellow back. So it worked. And look at Dorkus, you shit.
Adam's
put it-
hiding.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the little me. That is awesome.
Creamage removed him again. Now it's orange. Now we're orange, and there is what? No orange.
Perfect.
This is a big
Solid
Okay,
one.
they were trying to
Dice on
recolor
its
the
side.
orange. Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
that descended.
I mean,
Yeah, it was all your fault, Charles.
Yeah. I am evil. Oh,
Oh, hey, that's pretty
bastard. Haha.
good. What the fuck?
He's on mobile. He has to do something. Yay! I didn't ruin
Oh.
it completely.
Oh. Oh, now it's an angel. See, they know who I am.
Oh, I remember this one.
And then I make it worse.
Oh,
I have no clue what this ends up being.
that is so cute.
This
Uh-oh.
that's great.
Great. The red still made it in.
Oh, I know where this is.
Oh. Evil incarnate removed the evil.
And then I added it back in.
Great.
See, the evil's there.
This is the star. This is the star that you were referring to. Charles. Chris?
Yeah, Gray. I didn't get any Dorkuses, but Gray was present in quite a bit. Oh yeah,
What did
chug
it's changed?
Chug.
That's so awesome.
down in one. Oh, no.
Oh, dang,
That's
I like that.
awesome.
Okay. Beer. Oh.
Unicorn.
Now it's an unicorn.
Unicorn.
And Gray.
Oh, hey.
Oh, where's Gray? You
It's
broke
kind of
it, Dorkus.
grayish.
I think
I
it
could be a
was.
mug.
It was implied.
Look, I hadn't yet decided to do that.
Unicorn drinks mustard.
Oh, this is my bad. Gotta remember there
Oh.
being a rock being thrown.
Whoops.
Oh.
I like
Oh,
it.
Whoops. Kind of.
That's
We
good.
go.
that's not bad.
I like the line of action.
This one's going brr, pa.
Woo!
Celebrating the gray blob.
So much excitement to throw. Even though it was a horse.
Oh man, the horse with the beer though. That's pretty awesome.
Getting down. It's Friday.
Charlie.
5 p.m. somewhere.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, take that, little baby.
Ooh.
That's some evil shit.
Ooh, color.
And the tears.
Oh, okay.
Motion lines?
What the hell happened?
I'm a problem.
Yeah.
I'm a problem, guys. I think I should look at it longer.
Oh.
I love
I
it.
apologize.
Oh,
Well, that's
Wait.
a little racist there.
ruh-roh. Yikes.
It gets worse. I'm sorry.
Yikes. We're going in a... oh,
Oh.
mother.
Oh,
Great.
no.
That is evil.
That is evil.
Some
Dude
tin
standing
wong.
under
Something
an
wrong.
A-frame roof.
Holy fook.
We too low.
Jesus.
Maybe now.
Dumb dumb fuck. Ooh,
Ooh.
kaboom.
It was at this
That's
point.
Oh,
Oh no.
Why is everyone drawing gray?
Gray has agency there.
It's just
Yeah.
Dorkus who brought it in. Dorkus just always.
Dorkus is everyone.
No, Dorkus brought it in, and everybody just took it as, oh, okay, I've got to draw grey.
Gray? Gray? I?
Grey, why?
Yes.
That's it. Question mark.
Yeah, lowercase?
Yes.
Are you happy, Dorkus? Are you fucking happy?
Yes, yes,
Whoa.
generally speaking.
More
yeah.
lowercase.
Oh, square last. I see
I
what you
did not expect this though.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
With
Got
the
some
rainbow
rubber.
colors.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Can we see how everybody who did the square last and all of that?
What does that
So
mean?
click on them to show how the order in which they were drawn. So click it. Yeah. Okay. So gray square first.
Does that say
Square
something? Like if you do
first.
the square last, it means you're gay? Is that what that? What does this
Yep.
be?
No, it means
I
that
mean-
you want order. You put a circle around things. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm trying to
I did it last. Was that?
Wow.
I'm broken. I'm evil.
and then
Oh,
Jay-
there it is.
then there's no square around
Mm,
it. There's no
chaos.
order.
Just
That was me.
chaos.
Indeed.
Anarchy.
Told you he's contrarian.
Very much.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, that's
Whoa.
awesome.
See how many times I changed the
Aw.
colors?
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, something happened there.
It was the full tool. Fucking shit.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
We got the heart back.
Oh.
Taking some liberties.
But I forgot
Oh
yellow.
but
You know,
he
the
saw
mustard
it. He
color.
He
Coldplay?
saw because it shows you that animation of the person drawing it basically.
Yeah, I saw Blackheart initially.
Mm.
I thought it was Blackheart. but-
Dorkus, you.
Perfect.
The only thing I remember.
That's all that matters. It's gray.
Little bit
As
is
long
a little
as
bit
it's
off.
Perfect.
Masterpiece.
Oh, the gray's gone bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat out of
Thomas-
that gray.
I don't like Bandillions.
Oh, there we go. Wade has brought
I mean-
more light to the situation.
Wade's is still gray.
And Creamish is like, nah, it's cool. This is it. Wow. What did it start off
Interesting.
with? That was mine. It started with a heart.
A heart becomes a squiggle line. That's kind of cool.
Mm. Gartic phone is art, guys.
Very much so.
G-
It's beautiful.
Art.
It's got so many different brains
Who's
involved.
Carter Cowboy? I'm unfamiliar.
That's what was going on it. And there were brown stripes or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Cowboy.
It does not make it to me, whatever this is. Oh. Oh.
I love that face.
It's haunted. Oh no.
No, that's still a better face, the one above. It's the best.
Okay, I have like 2 seconds to draw that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, more gay.
More
So much
gay.
gayness. Yep.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
there you have it.
And I'm going to go a little bit further. There you go.
Whoa.
No, then I know what happened.
Oops, right?
Somehow.
Dorkus put grey in. But he
Leviathan.
put question marks in this time. He gave Grey a bit of a thinking.
Jugs. Chest butt. Ooh, Wawuga. And the gray's gone bad again.
That was great, guys. I enjoyed that.
That was barbecue gray.
Mm.
Well, those are like some new breasticles. How can those be gay?
Are boobs gay? Well, for me they are.
Lipsians.
For me they
But
would
it could be
be.
yours. That doesn't make you gay.
That's true. That's true.
It's a loophole.
No new turn. I see you. What
No
you
new
do there,
turn?
Dorkus. Yeah.
Okay.
We're good. Aw. People got to get going. Thank you so much.
The
I
get's
think
gotten.
Good
morning.
Dorkus has to drive more in Gartic.
Drive more? What?
Hmm. Yeah, as in share your screen.
Ooh.
No promises.
Hmm.
But I can
Well-
deposit more grays in all of my Gartics.
I
Deal.
knew that. That was. You had that planned. There was intent. Thanks, Wade. Thanks, everybody who participated. Everybody else who didn't. You shits. But
Yeah,
I
get on
guess,
your game.
yeah. I guess the more people there are, the more, the longer it takes to finish. I suppose.
Yep.
Hey. Okay.
If we get 10
Ooh.
again, we could do a
Mm.
really good
You
animation.
did it.
Why does
Oh,
Zaxx
yeah?
have Jesus Christ in this thing?
Yeah, that's who he is. It's his son. Oh, are you making a joke?
I'm making a joke. That's a song. Yes.
No, I'm asking if Charles is making a joke.
Oh.
Is that his son's hair? Is now it's Ben Shapiro.
Oh.
All right, I don't
I get it.
understand.
The anti-Semite and the Zionist. What's the?
There
Yeah,
you go.
he's just
Together at last.
feeling that.
Oh, nice.
We needed BMO for Gallente, and he left
BMO,
us
yeah.
a rot. Please
BMO
let
is
him know that.
Our father, right? He's our father figure. He's our leader. He's
He
the-
left.
Zaxx, I'm not understanding the messaging you're sending.
He's just stirring shit. That's what
Yeah.
he's
I'm
doing.
just stirring shit, waiting for reactions. That's it. That's all it's about. So.
I've got chili in my brain right now, trying to figure out what the connections are.
Oh, did you get this one?
Well,
That's the real question.
What the fuck?
I have no
what the fuck, indeed. We might as well have just
Right?
done another round of Gothic. Right?
Oh,
All right, guys. What is happening on your channels? Great. Let's go that way.
Yeah, stuff. It's the summer of gray. It's officially summer. Yeah, so expect new content in the near future. But if you just can't get enough of me, you can probably find me on the internet on other people's shows, because apparently I do that almost every day. So yeah, you look around the internet. You'll find some unsavory places. That's probably where I'm hanging out. But yeah, other than that, content soon. Charles, what do you have
Charles
going on
is
your
not-
channel,
Char-
sir?
Charles is not an
Oh.
unsavory, is he?
Yes,
He's
I am.
No.
an
I was talking about
MSK.
MSK's channel. Yeah.
I'm quite without savor.
I'd say you're a savory one.
And he has no couth.
I'm couthless.
Yeah, what's happening?
Content. Something that I probably should have brought up, because it's going to be less and less relevant, is our friend in Praise of Shadows decided to do some sideways sniping on a good friend of mine again.
Again.
And
Oop.
I'd like to discuss that, because he learned nothing from what he did last year.
But
So-
he took a big old break.
I do want to
You're
ask
complaining
you.
that people don't pay him enough. Why not?
So last week, I remember I was saying, guys, go to Charles's, because you had left earlier. So I said, go to Charles's channel. He's done a video on In Praise of Shadows again. So there must be some drama there. So is this still ongoing? So it's even past last week.
It's
So my
drama.
friend commented on that video and was like,
Mhm.
what, like, if you wanted my take on what you're saying about me, you could have asked me. And a lot of the
Mhm.
things you're saying are mischaracterizing me. And then he changed it, because he's like, next year, if you come, you can come see me and we can, straighten things out. And it read a little thready. And
Threatening. Yeah.
he changed it and never got a reply, but IPOS had a screen grab of both comments, meaning he
Mhm.
saw the comment prior to the change and then the comment after, and then outright named him, even though he didn't name him in the video, and then since deleted that tweet. So he seems to like doing drive-bys while being a little snipey about it.
No. How dare
Kind
you?
of shitty.
Well, he's the same guy who refused to actually have confrontation at the original thing, right? And then decided
Right.
to talk shit afterwards.
right.
So it's kind of his MO. The guy doesn't seem very confrontational.
Yeah, apparently he asked a bunch of people for quotes, and not a single person wanted to go on record. Yet he still quoted people who refused to go on record. So his journalistic integrity is just through the roof. Yes, yes. I don't even know if I would use the word journalism, but it's interesting. It seems like he's not that bothered right now. I mean, forget the fact
Is he
that
without empathy?
I don't know. He didn't learn anything. And last year it was Kevin Spacey and a host of other YouTubers. This year it's Jonathan Majors and my friend that he didn't name, but he did name after the
And then
comment was made.
changed his mind. Yeah.
But it's an extremely flimsy video, and I don't know what the future holds for that, because he doesn't seem to be too affected by it.
Well,
Kind of scumbag behavior.
Zaxx will give you the link to In Praise of
Okay.
Shadows, because might be the latest lolcow. We're always in
Yeah.
we're always in in search of new lolcows. So
Yeah, I need more locales because like the one I used last week, he could actually be like retarded, so I don't really want to make
You
fun
just
of him
say my
anymore.
name. Just say my name.
So, yeah, so there's like a sweet spot for locales, and so it's they can be tough to find. But Circle of Jerks Saturday night, we're gonna be looking at some locales, including maybe like Hassan Piker. He's said some shit this week, so I might get into that a little bit.
that's always good. Yeah, endless milk there.
Endless milk. Yes.
Mhm.
And there's a guy who came out and said he has like a gaming company, and he came out and said he doesn't want white people to buy his games. So that's always a fun thing. And he hasn't sold a game in 2 years, so obviously it's working. And yes, it's some more fun stuff. Some great body cam videos. I'm gonna pick one. Maybe we'll go through. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Saturday night, Circle of Jerks, 10 o'clock Central on my channel. It's gonna be good.
All right.
As usual. Go have a good old laugh. And then you do What's Good Wednesdays as well. You're on everybody else's channels as well. Just a busy man.
Busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
But
Thanks,
yeah, most of the people are here because of you. So they should be following, right? And have the notifications on.
You were doing before.
Hey?
What's this thing you're doing? What are you doing?
It's fun.
It's
It's-
her distraction method.
Medication.
It's
Thank you.
it's a self-soothing gesture.
Okay.
I think that's
Hmm.
kink that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
People
so-
pay you quite a bit for that stuff. So if you want to make some extra money, Kitty, yeah, there you go.
The super chat goal. Well, I'll tell you guys what we're doing later today. But Jab, are you doing stuff on your channel? Did we just luck out that today you were around?
I'm doing more active content creation, which is fun. I've got a YouTube channel, Twitter, and a TikTok, so that's fun.
Okay. Give me all of those links so I can put them in the
regularly.
description.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can I send it in chat too? I think I've got
Yeah, send it in chat now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
my YouTube. There you go. That's my real name, Corbin.
Corbin.
Channel. Corbin. That's my human. That's my real name. And then yeah. So content wise, you can find me doing like political content from a center left perspective.
Mhm.
More kind of liberal politics, I guess. Kind of daily news coverage kind of stuff.
Mhm.
At least that's what I try to do. My upload schedule is horrendously inconsistent. But yeah, in terms of
Good job.
content, you can find me doing stuff. I just had an in-person debate with Destiny.
Oh wow!
In
Oh,
New York.
nice.
What did you guys
Yes.
debate?
We
Where is
debated
it?
We debated Donald Trump. It's on my channel.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can check that out.
Wow.
Yeah, just a fun time.
Did you fillet one another?
Yeah. No, he ended up agreeing with me. We were debating over whether or not we could categorize Trump technically as a fascist. And yeah, I got him to concede.
So all you got to do is
I want to debate against Destiny. The best
Mhm.
political debater. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was fun. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
And that's on your
Neat.
channel, Corbin Sayles, you said?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So go check out my content over there. I've got fun videos. I just did one talking about some of the LA riot stuff. I got one going over Candace Owens on Piers Morgan. She's hilariously anti-Semitic, and it's really fun to cover. So yeah.
Oh, and then of course Dorkus.
No One Asked You podcast, book stuff, usually with Kitty, sometimes not with Kitty.
Do it.
Check it out.
Right. Yes. Go and subscribe. Guys, first of all, before I get into my thing, how do I raid? Because I want to raid Cine.
Who?
Cinevere.
What do you
I don't
rate?
know who that is.
How do
Go into your studio,
Mhm.
click on the video that's currently the content, go live, your video,
Mhm.
click on the streaming options,
Yeah.
and then go to customization
Mhm.
Ad redirect.
Okay.
Then you can search
Ad
it, or you can
Okay.
dump her link and it should find it for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
take a dump.
Well, anyway, so Cindy is chatting to let me just get the
Epitome.
True.
epitome. She's the epitome. Who's an epitome? Is the epitome of woke.
Clandis Owens.
Woke right.
Woke right.
Linda Owens.
Cook a clandestine. Yes, I cook a clandestine.
All right.
I'll put her link in the chat too.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're going to do once we're done. But yes, what I'm going to do today, you can thank Creamage for it. Thank Creamage for most things on the channel as well, including the music. I'm going to do a slop day on Fridays. I think that's what we're going to be doing. So I don't know. I'm working on a title. It might be called Full of Shit Fridays. Let's see how it goes. And we're going to just do a reaction stream. That's what I'll be doing on Fridays from now on. We'll see how it goes. See how good it is. And so we'll eyebrow content. No, not that. But
No,
highbrow.
highbrow.
Sorry, yeah, highbrow. Very highbrow content. Very highbrow reactions. And eyebrow content, yes, because we're gonna watch. We can watch people get plucked. So yeah, we're gonna do that. And yeah, eventually I'll also we'll see if I'll do some gaming at the end of the Full of Shit stream. So yeah, we just have fun on Fridays. That's what we're going to be doing. And eventually also in the Discord, join the Discord if you haven't joined it already. But in the Discord, there will be a new suggestions section where you can drop your links for the slop that you want me to watch on a Friday. I think we can build up a list every week, and then Friday becomes the slop. So there you go. That's what we're doing. Anything else? Evils?
No, I
that
think
was
we're
my
chill.
dad. Okay.
Dang. Must be
Cool.
racist.
Collab music session, a creation session. What? Oh, with we go and we can create the intro song for the Full of Shit Friday today. Good times.
Every
So
Friday,
have
the scene is set.
it's Friday. That's gonna be the song. So anyway, guys, have a nice life. Don't be evil. Be good. And enjoy our outro song.